And in theory, we should be live on Zoom D&D.
Zoom Dunda.
Dungeons and Zoomins.
Zoomies and Dragons.
Zoom.
Zoomies and Dragons. Okie
And
dokie.
confirm we are live.
We are
Yay!
hashtag the live.
Ooh.
Okay. Welcome to your online edition of Outpost, the session. Last time on Outpost, our intrepid party, after some brief kind of backstory adjacent meetings with the High Mage on the part of Shadow and just some generic shenaniganery, through the rest of the party, they traveled for some weeks over the sea before encountering a village seemingly in the middle of getting attacked. Following their instincts, their ship kind of chased down the marauders while signaling the rest of the fleet. The party managed to rescue a large and spicy complement of unconscious prisoners, orcs that were seemingly kind of captured from their village and were being attemptedly transported elsewhere. However, in the middle of this rescue operation, a incredibly large and well-armed ship sailed out into the open ocean between our party's ship and the fleet, and before anyone could do anything, cast some sort of spell that caused a massive wave to emanate out from this ship and send our hero's little kind of scout ship beached on the shores of the island. And that's where we're going to pick up. So, when you guys land, when your various ships, some of you are on the kind of captured pirate skiffs, when all of those ships land on the beach, it's a bit disorienting. It takes you a couple seconds or maybe a couple minutes to regain your bearings, and by the time you do, you notice that a dense fog has rolled in over the sea, so that your kind of visibility is a solid like 60 feet in any direction. And it seems like the sun overhead, as it's about mid-morning, midday, is getting dimmer and dimmer as storm clouds roll in. It looks like some sort of just kind of intense thunderstorm is building. As this is all happening... Oh, yes?
I look up at the sun, and as the storm clouds are moving in, I'm like, well, we had a fair run. Thank you. Have a nice evening, even though it's forced. Send my love.
So you do, as you send your love towards the sun, as it slowly becomes swallowed by the clouds. As this is all happening, the Captain Tilly, is like organizing the crew, and it seems like they're kind of trying to make sure none of the captured prisoners, rescued survivors, same thing, were kind of too badly banged up by this big tsunami wave. And she, in the middle of all this, looks at you four and just see if there's any non-captured people, any regular townsfolk that you can come in contact with on this island. We need to see if there's anyone we can kind of hunker through this probably hell of a storm with. And she kind of sends you off in the vague direction of that village that you saw from shore that is now no longer in sight due to the fog.
All right, I think we got our orders. Let's stick close together.
Who wants to take the lead?
I will.
All right.
I suppose so. I will follow
then.
closely behind, I think.
You can follow my tail, so we don't get separated.
Perfect.
Lighten the mist, if you will.
So we have our little Charmander / Rudolph leading the way, and and as you're going, Candle, please roll a survival check.
Okay. See, I know that I can survive. Whether or not I lead others to survival, who is to say?
Who's to say?
Who's to say? 13.
13? Yes, so you are able to kind of, pick a direction and follow it. You knew that this town had some kind of little structures along the beach, so you're just following the beach in this very, very heavy mist. But as you keep following this kind of path, it's like a decent hike. It's like a couple minutes of walk, and you hear in the distance, coming kind of from ahead, behind, inland, and out to sea, all scattered, these occasional very strange roars. It's like if someone took like a lion roar and just put it through a synthesizer and then fucked it up real bad, and then added a lot more like gravel to it. It's just
good.
this strange bestial roar that is periodically coming from pretty much all directions
I think
at various different points.
I think we're going into a petting zoo, guys.
Hey guys, what the fuck is that?
I don't know, but it sounds big.
Yay!
We should be wary as we proceed forward.
Should we be sneaky?
Perhaps.
All right, that idea.
But I'm a candle.
We can have the rest of us be sneaky, and you be the target if that's what you want.
Oh no.
Is that what you want? For me to be the
Not
target?
really, but if you don't want to be sneaky, that's the only other option. Because I'd rather not get eaten today.
Well, our visibility is low. We don't know the visibility of what. Maybe this thing that's roaring can see 20/20 vision. Maybe he has great vision and fogginess.
Perhaps.
So sneaky wouldn't be helpful.
That's all the more reason to be sneaky.
There's at least buildings that we can hide behind.
Are we at the buildings yet?
No, not yet. You guys have kind of stopped to have this beautiful conversation in the middle of the beach.
Oh, well, in that case, we should keep moving. But sneakily.
Fine. I extinguish my tail and I'm grumpy about it.
Okay, everybody please roll stealth as you continue.
But,
It's not the worst. Let's see.
oh, well, that's not good.
Alright, I got a 21.
Oh wait, I have
Got a
expertise.
21.
I got a 21.
Shadow,
That's gonna be a 20.
Merowyn,
9.
Candle.
Oh.
So Candle, you extinguish your tail, and then you grumpily stop off, and then the tail spontaneously reignites. And you're kind of stomping your way through the mist and the sand, and eventually you guys you can kind of make out the vague forms of the buildings in front of you. But before you can really do anything about that, you hear a kind of low-level, very gravelly growl from right behind you. Please roll initiative.
Oh
Oh
shit.
goody.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
Well, those are opposite rolls.
That was a nice roll.
Yeah, me too.
Good thing somebody's having good rolls.
Someone's got her.
Do we do any weird math shenanigans with critting?
No,
For now, it's just you go first.
pretty much. So let's see. So, who got above 25? That'd be Earn. We got Candle at Star. Anyone above 20?
23.
Okay, 15 plus.
19. We'll wait
And
for
10
the
plus?
shadow.
Well,
Do, do, do,
five
do.
plus.
There we go. All right, with my +4 with my +4 dex, I got a 7.
Candle is going
Wow.
first. Shadow is going last. There's some symmetry there. I can't write things today.
That's okay.
Okay.
Writing is
Sweet.
hard.
So, as you guys hear this kind of primal growl, you turn around to see a very fucked up looking creature. Imagine the face of a hammerhead shark, but it's attached to this quadrupedal body that reminds you of kind of like a dire wolf. So this thing is about 6 feet tall at the shoulder, probably about 12 feet long between its like front and back legs, with a long shark-like tail sticking out back, and it has the kind of classic hammerhead face but it has like an eye on each facet, so it has a front-facing eye, and you can see 2 eyes just pointing directly out. And it has kind of a weirdly, almost liquidy face. Like its mouth does not seem to be in one solid fixed position. It seems to kind of travel slowly around its face, kind of like a teacup that's been sloshed a little bit, but full of teeth. And it's kind of, its body and hide is all fucked up and scarred. It seems like it's already been through its own share of battles, and it is kind of drooling a little bit, looking at all of you. And Candle, you're first. You're about 30 feet away as you're at the front of your little single file troop, and it kind of appears out of the mist. What do you do?
The real question is, do I have a rage left?
That is the real question.
Let me check. I thought I did, but honestly, I don't even know.
Can't you just like run up to it and hit it?
I know. The raging is more fun. I think I have 1 rage left.
Okay.
Okay, well then I'm gonna rage.
Okay. So you rage.
I rage. I'm gonna roll on my wild surge thing.
Excellent. Give me the vibe. What's this wild surge, girl?
Okay, let me tell you.
Oh yeah, sure. You be sure to tell me, eh?
Let me tell you.
You betcha.
Oh sure. It's a wild surge, you betcha.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Okay.
What's the vibe?
A beam of brilliant light lances from your chest in a 5-foot wide, 60-foot long line.
Hey, Aaron,
Yes?
Candle, I need you to tell me. Did you move before you raged, or did you rage before you moved?
Well, I probably would have raged as I was moving towards the thing because I'm like, I gotta snap it probably.
Okay, sweet. So it needs to make a con save?
That tends to be my general, yes, make a con save, please.
Okay, as Candle takes like 4 steps, she kind of steps to the right of you, and all 3 of you are blasted by the aura of this big buck-off beam that just narrowly misses you by about 6 inches as Candle activates her rage and begins to glow with a nice warm sunlight. Ooh, I got a nice 22 on that con save.
Okay, you pass. So I don't think you take damage.
Oh, is it pass or is it save for half?
It just doesn't say.
Oh, then yeah, it doesn't take damage.
And you're also not blinded.
Ah, so as this beam passes towards it, you notice that the fog all around seems to thicken, just like directly in front of this creature, and you deduce that whatever forces generated this fog is also connected with this creature's whole vibe, as it seems that it's shielded from the beam of light. You reach the creature in time to make an attack action.
I make an attack action.
You roll to smack wicked hard.
That's gonna be a 21.
21 hits. Please roll damage.
Okay. That's gonna be a 14 damage.
14 damage. Interesting. Okay, so as you roll up, you give him a good smackening, and the 14 damage happens. But as you smack your big ass hammer into him, it doesn't seem like that made as much of a dent in his body as you were expecting. He's got some thickness.
So one thing I've learned is I never establish expectations in the workplace.
Important to have expectations, is what it is.
No. See, if you never establish them, that way you're always surprised. And I like being surprised.
This weird shark wolf thingy just kind of looks at you perplexedly at your workplace philosophy. But regardless, it's not his turn. That'll be
good.
Merwin. You're up next.
Oh, what the fuck is that? Hey, Kendall, yeah, you stay up front. I'm gonna duck back and shoot an arrow at it.
Roll to hit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does a 26 hit?
Sure does.
How do you feel about 9 damage?
I mean, it feels nice. There's a little arrow sticking out of its face, kind of like above its eyes, just kind of centered. And it's kind of like a weird little dorky unicorn. Doesn't seem to particularly care all that much, although you definitely made an impact. Anything else on your turn?
I'm gonna duck behind Shadow.
Hiding behind the rogue, a classic technique. You guys you're Merowyn about 20 feet away from the creature currently. Next up
Perfect.
is Selwyn. You are also about 20 feet away from the creature.
I don't like that thing. Firebolt.
Roll to hit.
Hope that'll hit. That's a 22.
That'll hit. And please roll
Okay.
damage.
Yeah. Okay. Firebolt's a D10, so hey, 10 damage.
Oh, nice. You notice that as this firebolt sinks into its hide, the general mist, as well as this whole creature's vibe, seems that it doesn't do as much damage as you thought it did, as it kind of almost bounces off its hide, leaving a little scorch mark. It is now the Shark Wolf's turn.
Hey, I'm not done.
Oh, you still have a bonus action because you're a fucking bard?
And a movement.
Oh, are you gonna run
I
away?
run and I hide behind Merowyn.
Okay.
Am I the only non-coward?
I don't know.
What do you
still have to see
mean?
what Shadow does.
Okay, Shadow, you're not a coward either.
Anyways, it's the Shark Wolf's turn, and he's gonna kind of look around, and it seems like Candle, he's almost like ignoring you, even though you're right in his face, as he's just taking in the scene and like sizing up each of all of you. And Candle, he's gonna kind of like ram his head into you, or at least attempt to, as he's gonna try and walk past. So,
Thank you.
hey Candle, how do you feel? Does an 11 hit? Yeah, you scamper out of the way as he starts to just kind of lumber past you, almost kind of pushing you out of the way.
Like
You
a
have an attack of
bulldog.
opportunity as he just leaves melee.
A bull shark, I do take it.
Please roll to hit.
That's a crit.
Oh, spicy, please roll damage.
Okay. That's a number. That's 31 damage.
It lets out a horrific and terrible screech as you be smacking it, and then it fully turns to face you. It's going to take its second attack on you, and it's going to hit this time, because you made it all upset. Does a 24 hit?
No. Yeah.
No. So this one, it just fully lashes out and chomps at you.
I
For
know.
yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So it chomps down at you with its big sharky face. It seems to almost travel to like the left side of its face to more easily grab onto you. And it latches onto kind of your shoulder for pre-halved for your convenience, 12 piercing damage.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
Oh, good.
And that's its turn, as it has a big kind of dent in its kind of ribs, as there's a bunch of broken bones from where Candle just be smacking it. And Shadow, you're up.
All right. So I have Merowyn and Selwyn hiding behind me.
Attempting to
Attempting
Doing
to
a
hide
terrible
behind
job
me.
of it. They're kind of like talking to each other
Yeah.
in really obnoxious stage whispers, like, "Are you hiding behind the rogue too?" So yeah,
Good times. Good times.
they're more like sheltering behind
Yeah.
you rather than hiding.
How
As a rogue, you
the
know what
monster
hiding
moved
looks
up? How much closer to it is?
like. Oh, you're
to
about
me?
10 feet away from
10
it.
feet away.
And
All right.
It's kind of not facing you.
Would it be possible to kind of get close to Candle and stab it?
Yes, it would.
I'm going to do so.
You should-
Also, before I do so, can I bonus action poison my rapier?
yes, you
Alright.
coat it in this nice viscous poison.
All right, and that is going to be a 18 to hit.
18 hits. Please roll damage.
Alrighty.
Con save, I assume.
Con save for poison.
Oh, an 18.
18 will pass.
Ooh, we're passing, baby.
So total damage. Was the poison halved if they failed the con save or passed
Yeah.
the con save? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's going to be let's see. Math is hard. 11 damage.
Okay.
Oh wait, do I get
As-
sneak attack since I'm next to Aaron?
You get sneak attack since it's next to Aaron.
Right.
His mouth.
So that's gonna be plus another 5 damage.
Sweet.
Because
It
I'm
is
sneaky.
beginning to look rough.
I am sneaky boy.
I already look rough.
Yeah, I suppose so do I, just by comparison.
I think I probably have less health than everyone in the party now.
Spicy. So, that's your turn, Shadow, as you roll up and give it a nice stabbing as there's a little, like, kind of thick green liquid leaking off your rapier. And then it is back up to the top. Candle, it's your turn. You have recently been bechompified.
I have. Am I still in its mouth?
No, you are not still in its mouth. It doesn't have quite the necessary chomp-tastic powers.
Can I leap into its mouth?
You can certainly try, is the response to that.
Oh, it's like a shark-like creature. Can I hit it in its eye?
It has several, and you can certainly try, but called shots will raise the AC, but maybe more damage, perhaps. Yes, roll to hit.
I would like to try to hit it in its eye.
In its eye, yes, roll to hit.
That's gonna be a 23.
That will hit its eye. Please roll an extra damage dice.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. That. Yes. That is a number.
And what is that number?
I will tell you that number once I calculate it in my head. Some better math. Oh no. 26.
Okay. As you be smacking its eye, it seems like that kind of half of its face like cracks. Like imagine someone's shin breaking, but
Yeah.
instead of a foot on the end, it's an eye, and also the eye is like pus.
Oh,
That's kind of what
delicious.
Candle just did to this thing's face as it roars in somewhat of a moderate displeasure, I would say.
I'm sorry.
I don't think you are, though. Merowyn, you're up. You are hiding behind the space formerly occupied by Shadow.
I'm just gonna shoot it at its flank.
Okay, roll to hit.
It's a 19 to hit
That hits. Roll damage.
for 10 damage.
Nice. It has another arrow sticking out of it.
Both sides.
Well, one's on its face. There's one arrow on its face. One
Yeah.
arrow on its side. Selwyn.
You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
Peek out the corner, firebolt again.
Peek out the corner of Merowyn.
Merowyn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't hit Merowyn in the back.
He'll be fine. He can tank it.
Yeah, he can tank it a lot better than me. And that's a crit, so maybe he can.
Damage.
4.
Sweet. Yeah, so the fire also does not seem to be still not very effective against this in the midst, against his weird, thick, sharky skin. And it's its turn. And it's gonna try and chomp Candle again, this time all proper-like. For 12 to hit? Does 12 hit?
No.
As you've recently befuddled its face, it has some trouble locating you
Is
precisely.
its vision impaired?
Its vision might be slightly impaired. Who's to say? Anyways, Shadow, since you're also in the vicinity, it's kind of like reaching out one big sharky kind of claw, paw, fin? Its appendage that's front and all manner of spiky is reaching out towards you at high velocity. But how high does the velocity be when he only has a 15 to hit?
No hit.
Ah, you also dance away. And it's grumpy. It's a grumpy sharky boy. Shadow, you're up.
All right.
I'm injured.
You're what?
I'm very injured.
I think I might have one
got her.
spell slot left.
I got her.
You got it? what's the turn order? Is
Shadow.
they gonna
Well,
survive?
I mean, the shark boy just went.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stab the Sharky boy.
Stab the
Because
Sharky boy?
Merwin said he got it.
Okay, roll to hit.
That's gonna be a 25 to hit.
Yeah.
Do that hit? A little
sure
bit.
do be.
A little,
It do be
little
hit.
bit.
It hit the bit.
I forgot to poison my blade this time, but I still do decent damage. Decent damage. That's gonna be 13 damage.
Ooh. He's beginning to look a lot like close to dead.
Christmas?
Is what
Damn
I
it.
think.
It is beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
It is a little bit. All this fog. It's a white winter beachy wonderland.
Walking
And you're
into
Rudolph.
Wonderland.
And we do have a Rudolph. Let us not forget. So
Damn, a
Rudolph
demonic
himself.
Rudolph.
yeah, you give him a good stabbing on his blind side. He is now leaking kind of very bloods and fluids, and you notice that he's not bleeding so much as it is just kind of like that same weird sloshy, same skin tone, same color as his skin tone,
good.
just fluid leaking out of his wounds. It's somewhat gross, perhaps a little bit. And then it's Candle's turn. Back up at the top of the order to ya.
Oh, did anyone heal me?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Doesn't matter.
Merwin said he got it.
I'm still gonna hit it wicked hard.
Please roll to
He
hit it
acts
with a hat.
after Candle though.
I'm also. I just realized I haven't been using my bonus action. Okay. Does a 22 hit?
Yes.
Cool. I hit it.
How hard do you hit it though?
I'll tell you.
Oh, you
now.
will?
Oh my god. Okay. That's gonna be a 18 damage.
Yeah.
And then I'm also going to use my bonus action to take my tail that is still slightly aflame and go now.
Roll to hit.
That's gonna be a number also. That's gonna be a 18.
Yes.
Yay. Okay, cool. And then that's going to take 14 damage.
Would you please paint me a beautiful word picture as to how you stab this creature in the face with your tail?
So basically, my tail comes out from around me, and as I said, it's still kind of on fire, and I start to like wave it around like, oh, and then I just like try to go for the eye that I initially hit. That's kind of like
Yeah.
and so I just kind of furrow. See how
Disgusting.
deep I go.
That's horrific. Candle does a very acrobatic series of movements in front of this thing's face as it just kind of watches an almost dead and mesmerized action. And then she stabs it with her tail such that she's almost like, I'd say arm deep in it. And it's just kind of burrowed into its face. And it's strange, Candle. The texture of this thing is not unlike the most meaty of Jell-O dishes. Like, imagine Jell-O, but it is just like a T-bone steak. And
You're ruining Jell-O for me.
viscous. And as you're burrowed into this, it kind of melts around you, and its one remaining eye kind of locks onto you, Candle. As it does so, and then it kind of just sloshes down all at once into this just gross-smelling, meaty puddle and flows away into the sea.
Is the eye still on my tail?
No. Oh, no, Wicked isn't.
Okay, good.
Wicked
That melts away
melted.
too.
There's a kind of gross smell emanating from your tail, not unlike burned plastic, as that flame kind of dismisses the lingering viscosity that was clinging to you.
I guess I just need to take a shower. Should
As-
I go take a dip in the ocean?
Oh, you run into the ocean?
No.
No.
Is that what you do?
No.
Aw.
I thought about it though.
You sure did. You, in fact, almost tried to do it. So, as you finish dismissing the creature, Shadow, Merwin, and Selwyn, please roll me a perception check. As Candle, you're busy dealing with the just horrific stench and kind of puddle of creature that's right in front of you.
Yeah,
22.
14.
22.
Ooh.
Hey! Okay, so
Aw.
Shadow and Merwin, both of you successfully spot a humanoid creature kind of peeking out from behind one of the buildings. And they kind of, seeing you dismiss this creature, kind of step out and walk through the mist with their kind of hands up. They're a tall creature, probably about 7'5" ish. And you notice some big tusks protruding from their mouth. This is an orc person who is approaching you somewhat slowly.
Hey there, we're here to help.
They kind of
I'm here to take cover.
I'm here to say hi to the new neighbors.
as they see all of this, they kind of drop their hands to kind of get into proper sight. You can see them. They're in kind of rough, kind of like handmade clothing, some leathers, some kind of tanned hides, and also some plant fibers woven throughout. It's just like clothes. It's not necessarily armor of any sort. And as they get fully into sight, about 20 feet away, they're just like, hi. So that was pretty cool, but if you're gonna be out here much longer, you're gonna want to take some proper cover, as those things, there's more of them. I'm Drask, by the way. I live here. He kind of puts a thumb back towards the hut he was hiding behind. It's been a rough couple of minutes these past few hours, but well, we do what we can, and we have a little hideout that I can take you to as a kind of thank you for dismissing one of these fucking creatures. You know, been terrorizing the village a bit. Just a skosh.
Yeah, we'll go with you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, follow me. You seem cool, and I'm not the type to make snap judgments anyways. I try to be pretty chill. We have a
Drask,
village therapist, and he's been walking me through mindfulness, and so we're doing our best.
I
Drask,
love mindfulness.
do you know what these creatures are? Where they come from?
We call them shark wolves on account of they look kind of like a shark mixed with a wolf. But one of us insists on calling them Bilberts. But we don't listen to him. He's missing. I think he got abducted by the raiders. We will miss him. We love him, but sometimes his way of naming things just makes no goddamn sense.
Oh, it's okay. We have some of your friends.
Oh shit! You got some of our friends? Like,
I think
did you?
actually
We
got
saved them.
all
We
of
did
them.
not take them. We saved
Oh,
them.
okay. You did one of them rescue operations.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Very important distinction there.
It was
well,
a wedding.
maybe. Where are they? As he's like walking you through the village, kind of it's hard. It's very spooky vibes because it seems like the village is otherwise completely empty, and there's just like shacks and little huts and like maybe larger buildings, but they're all made out of like driftwood, and it doesn't seem like they're made like solidly. This is not a fortified village. It's decided to like a fishing village, and everything's made by hand, and it's kind of barely holding together, especially what with the recent attack. So he's kind of like, wait, you guys, should we? No, okay, so new plan. We take you to the little bunker, and by we I mean me, and we talk to Idun, and then we maybe go get where are the people that you got? What is happening?
They're in a safe location.
That's the spookiest thing you could have possibly
They're
said.
further down the
Hey,
beach. Our
They
ships
were
were
on
beached.
our boat before our boat got grounded, so they're
Oh.
back on the island.
Well, good news, I guess. I'm gonna take you to the village elder. She'll,
Very expeditious return.
You're an expeditious return. Don't use those big words at me. I feel threatened. And Drask just kind of walks off. And you kind of follow him. You eventually get to the village center. It seems like there's a big building in the center, kind of circular with a nice kind of conical roof. As you get into the center of it, it's an empty. There's like the remains of a fire in the center of it. And you notice that there's kind of like rugs and furs all throughout. Drask goes to a specific one, rolls it up. There's a little trap door. He opens the trap door, and it's just like, okay, down here, it's our little safe house. You know, these things are wont to happen. You know, orcs aren't necessarily the most liked folks around. And, so,
Is it because you're so tall?
well, you know, I think it's on account of the old histories and legends and stories of orcs marauding and, you know, murdering people for fun and profit. We don't really do that, but there's stories. So,
Well, if it's any consolation, your height is a wonderful feature.
Oh my god, I'm one of the shorter people in my village, but it's really wonderful to hear that. Honestly, you don't know how much shit
Me
they
too.
give me about being short. You guys are adorable, and I do want to hug you, but I feel like that might be offensive. Would that cross? Can I hug one of you?
You are
Just-
allowed to pick us up.
and he just kind of grabs you, and it's kind of funny because like his hands fit around your shoulders, and then his fingers meet at your back, and he just kind of picks you up like a little teddy bear, and he's just like, you are my friend now, and he just kind of hugs you. And this man's is beefy. He's a lot of kind of definition and tone. Like there's some peaks and valleys. There's some topography on this man's chest. As you are
What did you
hugged.
say your name was?
I'm Drask, and you are my
Drask?
friend now. What's your name?
My
Since
name
we've
is
gotten so
Selwyn.
close. Hi, Selwyn.
It's
Yes.
nice to meet you.
It's nice to hug you. I mean, meet you. I mean,
Hey.
I'm new to this.
Can
Candle.
I get a hug too?
Your name is Candle, yes? I know this because they mentioned it earlier. Your friends did, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's do the hug thing. As he as he starts
Up
hugging
goes the
Candle,
Selwyn.
he sets Selwyn down gently, lovingly, with one hand, kind of just like a little cat. Just sets you down. And as he's giving you a nice, very warm hug, this man's he smells kind of weird, kind of like he lives in a fishing village and does a lot of work by the sea, but
I
it's
don't
nice.
judge.
There's a lot of warmth in his vibes.
We've
as he
been
gives
on
you,
a
like, a
boat
nice-
for the past couple months. I think we smell just as bad.
Oh no, you smell worse. I think definitely.
There you go.
Yeah, he has a nice natural balance of fragrances, whereas you guys are all
Musk.
like a little befuckered scent wise, except for Shadow. Shadow's still good. We will not go into the details of Shadow's grooming routine because that feels like bad podcast,
Smells like
like bad
smoke.
show, as it were. That's not details that need to be shared live with the Twitch stream. But don't. Hey, Marilyn, I'm watching you. I can see you. Don't do that. Yeah, as he's in the middle of giving Candle a nice big hug, someone another orc walks up the stairs and just like looks at all of this happening and it's just like, oh my, Drask, what the fuck? Drask is just like, sorry, I made some new friends. They killed one of the shark wolves. I heard a scuffle when I was going out to get my fishing pole that I left, and that it's still there. But I found some new friends, and they rescued the people that were abducted, and this female orc just kind of like just throughout this whole little monologue just starts to basically like face palm her whole face off. It seems like Drask is a bit of a problem child in the village, and Drask finishes up his monologue, and so I think we should take them to Idun to coordinate the unkidnap, rescue, retrieval operation. Yeah.
We saved the people that got kidnapped.
Oh, okay, well, we'll take you to Idun then. Yeah, Drask had the right idea. For once. As
I'm
this...
Candle.
Hi, Candle. And they both the female orc just kind of grabs Drask by the forearm and like yanks him down the stairs. It's just like, you went out of the bunker for a fishing pole, and then she motions for you to follow her, and you go down this kind of sloping tunnel into the earth. It starts out as kind of like reinforced sand with wood throughout all of it, and it kind of gently spirals down about probably 20 feet straight down, but it takes a while because tunnel. Merwin, you're raising your hand?
Did Mistra ever say where she was from? Like what island or village?
She actually didn't, very specifically. But you get the impression that she might not have been from this village, but was probably from this area, just due to the similarity of like vibes and clothing styles and like the way their dialect operates. She's probably from around this area, maybe not this village, but maybe.
Okay.
So. Okay, so you walk through this tunnel for a hot bit, and then you come out into this kind of big open area, this man-made hollowed out cavern underground. You can see these just very wooden reinforcements all throughout the ceiling, kind of little pillars. The ceiling's probably about 9 feet high, so it's a pretty tight squeeze for some of the orcs. But this is a pretty sizable cavern, and you see bedrolls and just basic supplies scattered throughout. Torches are lining the walls and on some kind of like tiki-style poles throughout to provide a faint flickering dim light. And in the center of the room, you see this very, very kind of tall and wide female orc with kind of like intricate braids and a furred little like mantle. And she's very obviously like in the middle of some sort of discussion. They're talking about plans and supplies and blah 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 in the center. However, that conversation stops when the female orc and Drask and you guys in tow walk up to this, and the female orc says, "Idun, we have some potentially helpful folks. They say they've found all of the people who were abducted, and Drask says they killed one of the shark wolves." So Idun at this point kind of looks up, and she reminds you of like a bear. The way she moves, there's some mass to it, and there's a certain patience as she moves around. Her tusks kind of almost as wide as a human's shoulders on either side. Like she's big. She's a large specimen. And as she looks at all of you, everybody please roll an insight check. No? 1? Okay.
14?
14? Candle?
7.
7.
Evan.
11. Delightful. So, Selwyn, so Merowyn and Candle, she's an orc, and her village was just attacked, and about like 80 of her village mates were just abducted. So she looks understandably like upset and kind of just processing patiently. You notice that this cavern is probably a bit emptier than its true capacity would be. And so that's kind of what you're focusing on. Selwyn and Shadow, she looks at your group and has some sort of reaction, but Shadow, you're the only one who's really able to kind of narrow it down. When she sees Candle, her face kind of like, you see she has an oh shit moment, and then kind of goes through all of the stages of grief in kind of like rapid succession, and then handles it. So,
Okay.
I mean, that's what you notice. As she sees all of you, she kind of stands up to her full height. She's probably about 8 feet tall, and kind of like just shoulders and tusks and arms. There's a lot of her. And she looks at the 4 of you and she says, "You."
But no legs.
Yes, she's actually just kind of a levitating top of torso. Think like sternum up. No, I'm just kidding. She has great legs too. I'm not gonna spend a full quarter of the podcast fucking Twitch stream. I don't know.
Can you please describe these legs in great detail?
Okay, so let us begin, of course, from the feet. Okay, no, we're not gonna do that.
What size feet does she have?
Bigger than Michael Jordan. Like the whole man.
Avatar Kyoshi.
Candle.
Some clown shoes. Yes, Ken?
Candle. I'm introducing myself because I'm polite.
She kind of like looks at you for a second before taking your kind of proffered hand and shaking it kind of awkwardly. I
Do you
am
need a hug?
Idun, and hugs can wait. She glares at Drask at this point, and she's just like, "What the fuck did you say to them?" But she goes, looks at the other 3 of you and says, "I am Idun, this village's elder. I have recently met Candle." And then she looks
I'm
at you.
Selwyn.
Selwyn.
Selwyn Goodbarrel.
The name's Merowyn Goodbarrel.
I kind of bow deeply and introduce myself as Shadow of the Moon of the Dancing Snows clan.
You are.
I don't have a last name.
Who needs them? I also do not have a last name. I am known simply as Idun. Yes, small one.
Oh, that's just a high five to Selwyn for having a last name.
Ah, the last name gang. Ah, the kitty wants out of the closet. So, as she kind of... Oh? Does the kitty want out of the closet? Go forth. Conquer. And she's good. Okay, so, she takes in all of you and your weird high-fiving antics, and says, "Well, if you have found the survivors, then of course we should go retrieve them. How did you arrive on this island?"
A boat.
We were unfortunately shipwrecked.
Oh,
Beached?
I
I
don't know
wouldn't
if
call
our
it
ship
shipwrecked.
is wrecked. It's more so adrift
We got
on land,
we got beached.
like a whale. Arr!
did you happen to be involved in any of these antics of the raiders that we have been fighting off recently?
Well, we
We
were
burned
trying
their
to stop them.
ships.
Yeah, we murdered them.
She kind of like looks at you evaluatingly for a second before kind of nodding in satisfaction and says, well, then it will do for us to go meet with the rest of our villagers there at your ship, I presume.
Yeah, it's on the beach.
Last we heard.
Well, as we're doing this, I hate to ask another favor, but I believe and she kind of like says this, encompassing her whole village, but also herself, we might be able to help you on your journey, but before we can do that, the village and the island must be made a bit safer. The marauders have released some creatures onto the island, and they have blocked us off from our holy places and the places with which we commune with magic on the island. And we would appreciate it if you would assist us in clearing them out. We are not warlike people in this village, and we would not quite survive an encounter with them as you seem to have been able to. Candle, yes?
Can I have some medicinal ointment?
Oh, there's
I can
no
do
need
that.
for anything to happen immediately as well. Feel free to rest before.
I would like to rest.
Yes, but before we truly rest, we should go about retrieving our people. And so she sends Drask and that female orc that you also first met with you to kind of go scout about, go like see where the people are, and then bring them back to this little hideout. And as you guys come out of the little bunker beneath the village center, you look up, and while the mist is kind of cleared up a bit, it's been replaced by driving rain. And it seems like there's a pretty hefty just rainstorm with some wind kicking up and the occasional thunderclap in the distance that has covered this area of the island. It's just kind of, visibility's a bit better, but that's only because it's rain as opposed to mist. It's still a very thick atmosphere. Yes, Aaron?
I bask in the rain for a moment
Mm-hmm.
because sunflowers need rain at some point.
Sure. Yeah.
We should
I
move
go-
fast.
Okay,
I
I'm sorry. We did a bask.
Yes. So you guys head back to the ship, and the captain is there, kind of setting up the ship, like having the crew kind of right it and push it just back out into the sea, such that it's not going to like fall apart on land. And then the raiders' 2 ships that you've captured have been fully beached, and it looks like they're in the process of a moderate amount of disassembly, and a makeshift kind of beach shelter is set up. And all of the prisoners are kind of laid out on like what scraps of sail and like supplies. Some of them have woken up and are tending to their wounded. But there's like about 80-ish survivors of the orc attack that are all kind of there. And as Drask and Valdan, who is the female orc who you just met, they see it. They kind of run over to their survivors while the captain kind of looks at you and waves you over.
Head that way.
So, how did your little adventure go? Candle looks a little bleeding.
There's a
we fought
shark
a
wolf?
shark wolf?
Spilberts.
I
Strange
hate
beast.
you.
Don't go into the town if you're not prepared to fight.
Yeah.
Well, she kind of like looks around. The ship's crew is like pretty competent, especially as a unit. She's like, well, I'd prefer the potentialities of defending a town rather than defending this campsite. But
So,
what are, yes. Do you
oh,
have more things?
they have a bunker in town?
She kind of like nods appreciatively. I do like the sound of a bunker.
We do need to get the wounded and injured orcs back to their village at some point, though. We have Drask and what was the female orc's name?
Valdan.
Dune. Wait.
Valdan.
the other one.
We have
Yeah.
yes, we have Drask and Valdoon from the village here to help us transport the injured and wounded.
Okay, well, we have supplies for some stretchers, and we can start making trips, I suppose.
Hey, Candle,
Yes,
can you wait on healing for a bit?
I always wait. It's okay.
Two of the biggest unconscious orcs that are there.
Yeah,
Healing word both of them.
sweet. As they both kind of like crack their eyes open, they're more bruised and beaten up than like cut up, so they kind of like just kind of stretch, sort out some of their wounds as they wake up and kind of get the situation. And I'm just gonna fast forward as you guys coordinate this for kind of the rest of the afternoon, ferrying survivors from this makeshift campsite to the bunker until all of the survivors, as well as the crew of the ship, have hunkered in the bunker hunker, as it were. And so it's kind of like super dense campfire hangouts vibe situation here, where there's not much standing room, but there's a bunch of campfires that people are gathered around and talking or recovering or eating. Shadow, yes?
Just for some flavor text, since I didn't know we weren't gonna get attacked again, I would have healed Candle for 10 HP, by the way, with the cure wounds.
Nice.
Oh, someone does care.
Dope.
I was helping the people.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm selfish.
Okay.
Sweet. Yeah, it's kind of like a just long line of people carrying stretchers or like slowly walking themselves, and about an hour later, everybody's all gathered in the bunker around the various campfires, and Idun kind of calls you four over, as well as the captain, who has kind of identified herself as the leader of this particular crew. And you guys find yourself gathered around the campfire with Drask and Idun, and Valdoon as well. There's Valdoon, Idun, and Drask. You've got all these folks. They're all named differently. Idun just kind of starts with, to the captain, asking how you all kind of got here. And Captain gives a basic summary of the expedition. And then after that, after like kind of you guys get to the point where this big ship came out and cast a big wave on everybody, and then our ship hit the beach and all this mist rolled in. Idun nods kind of gravely and says, "Well, that sounds like the ship of the Marauder." And you can hear in her voice that those two words are capitalized, the Marauder. The Marauder has been sailing through these parts, sending his forces in itinerantly to harass us and try and steal our relics and our people for his rituals and his forces.
What does this Murata?
The Marauder. Yeah, let's go get a Marauder.
What does this margarita look like?
He's, I think, just a human man. But he has some magic that powers him beyond the limits of an ordinary creature.
Ah, the worst kind. A human man.
Yes, a human man. So yeah, he just seems like a guy, seems like a dude from Idun's description. But he commands the respect of a pretty sizable armada, and he has his own mysterious goals that he's been able to rope a lot of people into doing. And it seems like all of his crews are willing to kind of like die for the cause. It's very
Sounds like a very charismatic individual.
or something. Perhaps he has some extraplanar backup. But at this point she kind of turns and faces Candle specifically, but you four rather than just the captain, and says, "But you, the captain mentioned that you had done some various scouting work and interacted with some strange characters before. I would like to hear those stories from you."
Me?
Well, all four of you, but she seems to be looking at Candle most.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we've interacted with some odd individuals. I recently interacted with a large, slightly burned dead fish. We had a pleasant conversation. Well, it was pleasant until I thought he was going to try to eat me. Um, that was slightly unpleasant. But yes, and I think we may or may not have interacted with a deep god, lord of the deep, a deep lord.
She kind of growls in
Deepman.
recognition of this deepman, as the devil of the crushing depths. We do our best to avoid his attention at our humble village, but he haunts our myths and is a kind of bedtime story to keep children from going into the tides too late.
Oh, he was definitely a nightmare.
That is unfortunate to hear.
And he's definitely no myth.
Yeah.
Are
And,
myths ever
creepy.
truly all that exists? The stories were started for a reason.
Oh, talking about other travels, is a woman named Mistra from this village? By any chance? Someone went missing probably this amount of time ago?
Yes, probably like a couple months ago or so. She kind of pauses for a second and contemplates, seems to consult an internal memory, and says, Mistra was not from this village, but she was of a group of the traveling traders that connects the villages on the island. And she hasn't been seen for some time. Is she safe?
Yeah, she's with me and Cell's troop right now.
The traveling life seemed to suit her. At
The
least.
orc guy. Cell, the orc that was with me when we met last time.
Yep, now I remember now.
Now?
Yeah, once he mentioned it.
Are the pirates with a leader by the name Alistair? I don't know their ship flag or anything. Do they work for this Admiral Deep Marauder guy?
She kind of like looks a little perplexed for a second, and then I don't know the names of any of the Marauder crew or captains, but he has many different piratical types working for him. Oh yes, Shadow, go.
I suppose we should also probably relay to you that we met Endra, the Earth Soul, along our travels as well. Very interesting circumstances in a submerged castle.
At this, she pauses, but she doesn't seem surprised so much as like kind of temporarily stuttered in her rhythm. But she does seem to have more familiarity with this concept than anyone else you've kind of met personally who wasn't actively trying to do bad things. She kind of nods. Interesting. The Earth Soul, also a creature from myth. Yes, I do believe that we can help you on your adventure. The captain kind of looks a little confused at this, but like she knows not to really get involved at this point. Our holy site was once, or is rumored to be here, was once a place where the ancients might commune with the Earth Soul. I believe it's part of why the Marauders do not leave us alone. But it is heavily protected, and that is also the area where a lot of these shark wolves, you called them, are gathering. They are trying to get past the defenses that have been in place since ancient times. I do not believe they will succeed, but I feel no need to let them run unsupervised. Yes, Candace?
She's still staring at me weird.
She's kind of like looking at you a little weird, yeah.
Can I roll insight on that because I'm used to racism?
Ah, yes. Feel free.
Candle is used to racism. Number. That's gonna be a
So she seems to be looking at you with a mix of recognition and like apprehension. It seems like your appearance means something to her in a way that you really don't have the context to understand. Yeah, it seems like she's kind of spooked by you, but not in a like you're a spooky vibe type of way. Like she could probably pick you up and throw you across this little bunker.
I would let her.
It's more it's more perhaps like she is a little bit spooked by what you mean to her or whatever your appearance means to her.
Does my complexion bother you? I'm very sorry. I can try rubbing sand over myself to make myself look paler.
She kind of like does a big weighty chuckle as you say this, and she's just like, your appearance does not bother me. It's just, well, we're on the topic of myths. My people have a story. It's a story about a specific race of people that we call the Heralds. And they can take many different shapes, sizes, and colors, but they universally have tails, slightly different skin tone, and horns, like you have. And typically, their arrival heralds great change. Sometimes great change in conflict, but sometimes great change in peace. But it never is a sign when a herald arrives that things will keep staying the same.
I'm all for change, going with the flow.
Perhaps you will find more about your purpose once you can access the holy site. If you are able to, well, manage the monsters that are plaguing this part of the island, I will do my best to lead you through the defenses around our holy site to see if you can't find some clarity. Maybe commune with the Earth Soul, as you said you've done once before.
Alright, so sounds like we need to rest and then start clearing out some shark wolves, some schwolves.
These
schwolves.
billboards, as they were called.
Ah, yes. You're the worst. So, you all get a long rest.
Yeah.
Time to go schwolf hunting.
Yes, good old wolf hunting.
Please, no.
So,
Some orcs. Some hammerhead schwarks.
No.
Goddamn hammerhead billboards. The worst
Oh.
kind. I'm a guard.
okay, so you take your long rest in this little bunker, and you wake up to the sound, or to the smell rather, of cooking fish, as it looks like a certain flavor of village breakfast has been prepared for everybody. And as you kind of take your eating, it looks like Idun has had a kind of rough map of the island drawn up for you. And it looks like you guys are at the southern tip of kind of a long, spindly island that is in the middle of kind of an archipelago. Think like maybe a couple Japans all just kind of clustered together, but like a bit smaller, but like not that much smaller. It's like a couple Japans all up in this island. Maybe a little Hawaii action in between.
So, is it bigger than Japan?
I would say that the total land area of all of the islands in this archipelago is bigger than Japan, but only just.
So a bunch of mini Japans.
Yes, a sizable complement of mini Japans, but they all have that kind of similar shape of landmass, and you are on the one of the southern islands on the southern coast of that island, and about like a solid 20-ish miles inland is a little highlighted site that Idun points out as this is kind of the holy site in this island. That's why they settled their village here, to kind of watch over it. Probably about 4 generations ago is when they settled in this village, as the orcs don't tend to put down roots too solidly. They're always kind of able to move. And in fact, you notice that in the background there are various orcs who are kind of entering and leaving this bunker, it seems like they're packing up and getting ready to move this village in light of the recent attack. But Idun kind of points out this area and says that these shark wolves have been patrolling kind of throughout the forest and jungle of the inland islands. And there's not so much mountains as foothills all throughout it. There's some interesting elevational topology happening, and this is in a weird kind of valley, almost like a bowl-shaped valley in between all of these little foothills, is where this site is. But she kind of warns you that it seems like the closer you get to this site, the more concentrated the presence of these creatures are, and it seems like they're being controlled for the most part. Sometimes they're just let loose to cause chaos, but around this holy site, she sent some scouts there previously, and they are kind of patrolling as if they are guards. There's a strange amount of organization to their activities.
Would you call like this whole island area coastal?
Yeah. No. Actually, 20 miles inland would be jungle or forest.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least, leading on the outside, I probably am pretty comfortable with the land, and I can lead us pretty well.
Sounds good to me. This definitely feels like one of the magical hotspots, like the ley lines following through. One of the centers of power, so this would be interesting to check out.
Seeing all this, Valdun says, "Yes, I will send with you my daughter, Valdun, and she will act as a guide, and she also knows the secrets and rituals surrounded with the holy site, and she will be able to guide you through should you get past these monsters."
You have a daughter?
Yes, Valdun kind of like looks up from her fire where she's currently yelling at Drask for some stupid bullshit that he's up to these days. He seems to be like messing with his fishing pole that he finally retrieved from his shed. He's just like, "They broke it. I'm sad
Hey,
now."
Idun, I have
Yes.
I have a theory and a word of advice. I think your daughter and Drask are gonna fall in love. Aww, it's gonna be so cute. They're gonna have such cute large babies.
She
That's
doesn't
gonna be
say
the
anything
change.
like that. She
That could
says
be the
absolutely,
change.
absolutely nothing to that. And she just kind of like, "Well, it is time for you to leave."
Oh.
So, she has Valdun kind of come grab you, and she's just like, "Okay, so, let's go. We're going. Let's leave this bunker. I need to breathe fresh air." As you guys get back out onto the surface, it seems like it's been raining since last night, although now it's down to a rough drizzle, and everything is kind of wet and muggy and just kind of oppressive. The clouds are still present. You head out into the woods. Valdun is kind of, seems like she knows the way, although there's not necessarily a path beaten in this direction. But everybody roll survival with advantage as Idun and Merowyn kind of lead you through these entry jungle, the beginnings of the thing.
So Valdun, what do you think of Drask, huh?
She rolls her eyes and says, "I think he's an idiot who gets a bit too attached to things." You put
That sounds like a
expression down.
man in love to me.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. He is far too much of a teddy bear to be aware of things like love.
Do you have feelings for him?
She kind of like just looks at you with a look of utter exasperation and says, "We're trying not to get eaten by shark wolves," which is already the worst sentence I've ever had to say out loud. I'd rather not have this conversation with
Hey.
someone I met yesterday.
Live and let die. Live and let die.
Like this conversation, we should let it die, yes.
I have a 9.
Okay.
17?
9. 17.
Right.
Yeah. And Candle, your survival check?
20.
Nice. So as you very, very capably have this conversation with Valdun, you'll notice that you're not really skilled at reading orc expressions, but she does seem to be avoiding this conversation. She seems very practiced at avoiding this conversation, perhaps you could say.
I just want to make connections.
How about we make a connection by sparring later, and we can see how strong you really are, Miss Harold.
Is my name Harold now? Can that be my last name?
I mean, I'm not your mom, so, like...
I don't know who my mom is.
Oh, dear. Okay. So, does someone else in the group wanna start having a conversation other than me? Perhaps? As Valdude seems to kind of not really be vibing with
Let's
socialization.
go this way.
I start
Yes.
walking off in a wrong direction.
Ah, yes, you, small one. You're going in the wrong direction. Thank you. And you, basically, between Merowyn and Valdoon, you actually managed to avoid some of the more dangerous jungle creatures and traps. There's some poisonous plants, and it seems like there's some like magically empowered orchids and trees that just kind of like, think like a Venus flytrap, but it
Shadow,
does
do you want one of those?
sometimes get at creatures.
Does Shadow want any of those magically poisonous plants?
I rolled a 17. Oh, actually, magically poisoned plants. Yes, I want those.
Yes, you do pass by, basically, think like Venus flytraps.
Delectable
or
tea
those
or deadly
weird,
poison?
Weird pitchers. And you know enough to know that like some of these plants are poisonous, but you've never harvested any of them before. So if you're gonna try and harvest some, that'll be a nature check.
Sure, yeah, they give poison vibe. I want to try.
Strong poison.
Nature is
A
intelligence.
little bit.
It's gonna
too
be a
bright to
14.
normal.
So there's it's like it's a vine that has an almost fluorescent kind of purple and green glow in
Okay.
veins throughout it. And it, as you kind of like touch it with your bare hands, it kind of burns with an acidy flavor. But you manage to, using like some gloves and some scrap leather to protect your hands, you cut off a length of about 10 feet of this vine, coil it tightly, wrap it in leather, and put it in your bag.
Cool.
You now have 10 feet of acid vine that you might be able to render down into a poison or some sort of applique to your weapon, given enough time and a good roll.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna call it
Sweet.
Murder Vine.
Ah, good old murder vine.
Classic.
So, after some hiking, it's probably about 15 miles of hiking before Valdoon stops you all in the middle of this jungle. It's been some ups and downs. Please, everybody, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
As you're, you've walked, like it's been a pretty fast clip through this jungle to get here. It's about mid-afternoon.
14.
Okay.
What?
Selwyn.
I'm so sorry. What are we rolling? I got
con save.
distracted.
Selwyn, I don't like that look.
X.
Okay. Sweet. Candle.
A number.
What is the number?
Probably better than mine.
15.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And Merowyn. You're muted.
Yep, 19.
Sweet. Hey, Selwyn. You get a level of exhaustion.
Yeah, I
from the
thought
hike.
so.
Yeah. And as you are all variably winded near the end of this hike, Valdoon kind of stops you here and says, "This is where the patrols start to get a bit thicker." But she kind of points, and through the trees, now that she's pointed out, there's a faint... It's not really a glow, but it's been faintly drizzling all day. And you can see in that direction that it looks like the drizzling is starting to fall off. It feels like there's a lightness there, and especially Shadow and Candle, you feel almost as if there's a light kind of cooling breeze coming from that direction, even though it's very kind of still and non-windy under the canopy of this jungle. However, other than that kind of spot of fresh air that is blowing, it seems like this area is getting more oppressive and dark. And so Valdoon says, so from this point, I will kind of follow you, as I am not as skilled in combat as I am skilled in tracking. So I'll do what I can to help, but it's up to you to get through this properly.
All right.
After you, Merowyn.
I guess I'll lead the way.
Okay. Are you guys trying to be sneaky?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody please roll stealth. As you, it's gotten to a more, like, think rainforest. There's a canopy above you that is blocking most of the still very indirect sunlight. And there's the occasional foliage and ground cover. But there's also some clear spots in between trees where it's just like dead leaves and the gently decaying forest floor. So sight lines are kind of itinerant as you move from little mini clearing to mini clearing within this forest. Merowyn, stealth.
Right.
Shadow.
25.
Candle.
23.
And Selwyn.
22.
Woo! So, from your first 15 miles of hike, between itinerant narration by...
Wait, I had disadvantage. That's my bad.
Oh, shit. 1 second.
Wait, no, that was a crit. So 22.
Whew. So, in trying to get out of any conversations about Drask and or her love life, Valdoon spent the past 15 miles just catching you guys up to speed on tricks of the trade for walking quietly in the rainforest. And it seems like all of that just really resonated real nice. So also, by the way, from now on, everyone has advantage on stealth checks in the rainforest.
Oh,
Because
Just as like a flat bonus.
yeah, because you've all
forever.
learned lessons from Valdoon. As she's a very, very good teacher in this kind of thing, especially when she's avoiding conversations about her love life. You know, sometimes all it takes
Favorite
is
terrain?
motivation. So, yeah. Marilyn, you get expertise when in rainforest. Let's say that. How about that? From now on.
Well, feeds.
Okay. So you are skulking through this forest, the five of you, and it seems weirdly enough to get impossibly darker the closer you get. It seems like the sun is getting blocked out by more than just the clouds in the canopy as you approach, until you come to a clearing and there is just a strange, faint, bubbling sound all around. Kind of like a boiling vat or cauldron, just in the middle distance, like one room over. It's strangely muffled, but there's the sound of kind of like bubbling and burbling all around. And there's like a faint hiss or slither in the distance as you look out on this clearing that is seemingly just like every other.
I don't like the sound of this.
I suppose we have to go in there eventually, but like...
I'll go. Let's go.
Okay, alrighty.
So, Candle, as you step out into this clearing, the ground seems a bit softer, and then suddenly you step into something that is very much not ground. Please make a disadvantaged dexterity save as you charge directly into a nice little puddle.
Oh shit. Wow. That hasn't happened in a while. I just double crit, so...
So, as you see Candle kind of lightly jog forward, and then her foot kind of touches the ground, and the ground around her just ripples. But instead of falling, she just does a nice little front flip and lands on the other side of this strange, weird puddle thing. And it looks like there is a kind of line of false ground, of some kind of like hidden quicksand in the clearing that Candle has just jumped over.
I thought it was a schwark. Like a puddleified schwark.
It was not.
It's a sand shark. Sci-fi.
So,
Gonna take out an arrow and just start poking the ground in front of me.
okay. You start poking the ground in front of you, and then you detect the very beginning of this kind of quicksand puddle with the arrow, as it kind of dips into the ground, much too easily for it to be dirt.
Don't
and
step
then
here.
it looks like it's probably about
I'm just following your footsteps.
probably about a 10-foot kind of gap to get across it to where Candle landed.
Hey, that's really far, guys.
I'll catch you. Jump.
I don't think I can get in, like, catching range.
My tail will
What-
catch you.
What's her name? Valdoon?
Yeah, what's up?
Do you want to throw
Hey,
us?
throw.
Oh, fuck yeah, I was waiting
I'll
for you
catch
to
you.
ask. I wasn't gonna offer because like it seems like it might be offensive, but I really do want to do some hobbit chucking.
No,
It's
see,
much
with
further than we can go.
with consent, halflings love to be tossed.
Oh, this is great news, guys. you
We've
don't
made
know
a
how
whole
happy this
plan
makes
for
me.
this. It's a
That's horrifying. Okay, Candle, are you ready? Are you ready to catch? She kind of picks up Selwyn just kind of by the back of his shirt, just kind of the back of your collar,
Just
and she also grabs
scruff
you
of
by
the
the
neck.
belt, so you're just kind of dangling like a little mini torpedo. And she's just like, and a 1, and a 2, and a hoof. Selwyn, please roll a dex save, and Candle, please
Can
roll
I
an
cast
athletics check.
Bless on Selwyn, Merowyn, and Candle?
Yes. You
Okay.
guys all have a D4 on ability checks and saving throws for the next.
Attack
minute.
rolls and saving throws.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, so, Selwyn, dex save.
Dexterity as
and
having
Candle, athletics
throw.
check. Candle, do you have your number?
Sorry, I got distracted. My number is an 11.
Okay, and
Mine is
Selwyn?
an 18.
Ooh, nice. So Selwyn kind of like lands on you more so than is caught by you, but you provide a very, very capable springboard, Candle, as you kind of knock back a couple feet, and Selwyn does a nimble little roll and kind of poof, lands on his face on the ground, but like gracefully. It's a soft ground. This is squelchy
Come
good
on,
stuff.
any other way.
Merowyn, you're next. You get picked up, and Baldoon's just like, oh my god, you guys don't know how happy this makes me. Yeet! Dex save and Candle athletics check.
Would it make you happier if you threw Drask?
Can I give Candle? No, not after that comment.
Yeah.
I
So,
was gonna say, can I help Candle? But
Merowyn, what's your roll?
10.
And
I'll
With
Candle,
be ready
Bless?
to catch Merowyn in case.
Yeah.
Oh.
21.
so Merowyn, your throw is a little bit askew. It seems like Valdoon was a little bit kind of thrown off by that Drask comment, and so you went a little wide. But Candle manages to like snag one ankle as you're flying past her, and she just kind of whips you around in a circle to kind of cancel the momentum before like tossing you up, and then you land on your feet next to Selwyn, and you're a little rattled,
Ooh.
like you almost overshot, but Candle's got you. You're good. You're just a little bit of a kind of a momentum toy. You know, like when like
Well, all right there, Pinata.
like, yeah, it's like a pinata. You're being swung around. Shadow, at this point, Valdoon kind of like looks at you kind of excitedly, like, can I throw you too? Can I please? I would like to. Please, if you...
Well, I
It's
was
okay.
going to jump it, but sure, let's give it a
You
shot.
don't have to. It's okay. No, don't worry about it. If you don't
I'll
want to be
catch
thrown,
you.
I'm not gonna make you.
No, let's do it. Why not? Of course.
Hell yeah.
Should I give
This time
Candle
he
the
is-
help action?
This time, me and Merowyn are gonna catch.
Yikes.
No.
You and Merowyn brace Candle's legs
Yeah.
Yeah.
on either side. Shadow, please roll a. I'm gonna say this time for you, since you're a bit heavier than the halflings.
Mm-hmm.
Please make a strength saving throw to kind of help Valdoon get some proper momentum over this.
Good. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Fuck you, rogue. You don't get to work to your strengths.
Oh, good. That's gonna be a 6.
Ooh. Okay.
How's that? How's that sounding?
It depends on the other boys' rolls.
What are we rolling?
Candle, advantage athletics check.
Aww. Okay.
Let's see, you have 2 halflings supporting your legs.
You ever heard of tabletopping? Because that's what I'm envisioning here.
Athletics is gonna be a. I'm so bad at math. 15.
Okay.
With the D4?
D4 doesn't
No,
affect ability
no.
checks.
Oh, nope, that's right.
Oh. Then I
So,
guess-
so Shadow tries to kick off of Valdoon a little bit, and it kind of misangles, and so he doesn't quite get like he gets like a good 5 feet out, but then your feet kind of splash in as Candle reaches out, she catches you, but she has to drag you through this puddle. As you are dragged through this puddle, please roll a Constitution saving throw.
All of us?
Okay, that's
Me?
better.
No, just Shadow.
It's an 18.
Sweet. You successfully pass. You only take 3 acid damage
Ah.
as you are dragged through this puddle. It seems like there's a little bit of a singe in your boots as Shadow kind of lands and is brought forward. And Valdoon's just like, "Ooh, well, that looks like, how do I say this? Absolute suck." And then she takes a back and then a bit of a running leap and just barely clears the quicksand on her own.
I
Seems
catch
like
her.
with your support, it's not in question, but without you, she might have fallen backwards and kind of lost her balance on the other side. So it's good to make sure she's there.
I think that
So-
puddle is vaguely acidic.
I'll
No,
take it.
I gathered that.
Shadow with the singed fur, just like, yeah, I noticed.
Are there any rocks or anything in this clearing?
You notice actually that there aren't any rocks. And upon further investigation, I'm going to say that you notice that this clearing seems to have been picked clean. There's no real vines hanging down from the canopy. And that burbling, now that you're listening, is coming from both behind you, where that first river is, and kind of all throughout it. All throughout this clearing.
What's the ground made of?
It's just kind of, it looks like generic forest floor cover, so dropped leaves, rotting wood, and just kind of like some funguses, some fungi.
Can I collect some rotting wood, just like chunks of it?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. I got a plan. So I'm gonna start. I guess I'll lead the way with my arrow poking.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait till we get to the next
You
bog.
successfully detect puddle number 2.
I'm following
and then I'm gonna take
Erwin's footsteps.
the
exactly.
rotted wood, and I'm gonna start tossing it a little bit further each time and see
Okay.
where the puddle ends.
Please roll investigation.
Okay. That's a 3.
Ooh.
A 4, actually.
Much better.
Yeah. So it looks like this puddle that you're looking at is about another 10-foot long one.
Looks about 10 feet.
Okay.
I'll go. I jump.
Please roll a athletics check.
I will. Oh, good. 25.
Yeah, you wicked clear it. You get some nice air, and then you do a nice little somersault on the other side, and you stand up and you strike a little gymnastics pose, and you're just like 10 out of 10. I know what that means, and that's how that goes.
It's just a ratio to measure how good I am.
So I'm gonna say for the rest of this clearing, everybody please roll. So Candle, roll an advantage athletics check. Little halflings, please roll a dex save. And Shadow, you can either try to jump it yourself with an acrobatics check or be thrown with a strength save.
I am going to jump it myself this time.
Okay. So, Candle,
Is
what's your
Bless still
advantage
active
athletics?
or no?
19.
Okay.
Is
So-
Bless still active or no?
Yes.
19.
Okay. Merowyn. Merowyn, what'd you get, roll-wise?
23.
And Selwyn.
20.
Sweet. And then Shadow.
24.
Excellent. Now that you've all hit a rhythm, you kind of nimbly dodge the rest of the puddles in this clearing, and you get through this like next little bit of foliage, and this next spot where you'd expect another one of these micro clearings, it feels wrong, and actually it's immediately apparent why. You look to the right and left, and it's not really a clearing so much as it is a cleared path that's probably about 120 feet wide between you and the next actual kind of cover and trees. And in this clearing, there's still like the canopy covering it, but it does get a bit thinner around the middle. There's some of that rain drizzling down, and there's just like occasional shrubs and small ferns and rocks all throughout it. And you look to either side, and you can see one of those shark wolves disappearing kind of around a curve. It seems like this is some kind of cleared area around the center of the holy site.
I smell a trap.
Mm-hmm.
I smell fish.
Does it look like it's cleared kind of because it's been walked through a lot?
Partially that. There is kind of a worn in the ground foot trail that is pretty wide, and there's actually two of them, one about 20 feet from the far side and one about 20 feet from this close side that you're currently on, that seems to be worn smooth from patrolling. But other than that, it seems like it might have actually been intentionally cleared out with perhaps some sort of magic, or just like, the world's most beefiest work crew removing some trees and a lot of foliage. It's a pretty big area. Like, it was cleared out through some powerful force.
Okay. So, I guess we want to try and sneak across while the Schwolves aren't walking through?
I'll be right back. I need to get my battery.
Sounds good.
Okay. So
Fair
yes,
enough.
sneaking across. We'll resume to that, and very shortly we will be taking our midpoint break. Probably once you get past this clearing. To kind of take a second to breathe and maybe eat some water. In my case.
Nom nom nom.
Yes, this closet does get a bit warm.
Ah,
The
yes.
longer I stay in
The warm.
the warm closet. So how is everyone's week, Ben?
Well, pretty
Days
pretty decent.
good.
Pretty good.
Days
Pretty good.
Yes,
You?
let's...
How about you?
Oh, well, it's been interesting. Let me tell
I
you.
Ah,
bet.
yes. This would make sense.
The COVID exposure. So, like, potential. We'll see. I have no symptoms.
Good luck.
And test results should be arriving by Tuesday night at the latest, probably. And so that means drumline rehearsals were canceled because I run the drumline at Golden High School, and so that means my Thursday and Friday evening were very free, and so I used those to both prep for moving, which is happening this coming Saturday, but also play Density.
Density.
Because it's new release day. It's new release week.
What
and
happened?
You moving?
Content. Yeah, so we're changing apartments within this building. We're
Ah.
moving to one with a balcony and a bedroom with a door, which is some
Ooh.
prime real estate. Yeah, some fucking ritzy shit. Bedrooms
Gets a
with a
door now.
Cool. There's a door. It's incredible. Hi, Candle. Did you get your battery?
Yeah.
Why?
Did you get your battery?
Don't poke your fingers together on me, bitch.
Don't be mean to me. I'm just a widow baby. Okay, so the 120
Good
foot
session.
clearing. Yes. Goodbye. I was a guard. Yeah, 120 foot clearing. What do you do? There's some odd shrubs and rocks throughout it. And in the middle, there's kind of a break where some drizzle is trickling down, and you see some kind of grasses and low-level ferns kind of attempting to grow in that space.
How big are the shrubs?
Yeah.
Oh,
Are they
gosh, at
stealth
their
behindable?
At their tallest, they're about 3 feet tall, but they're not as thick as you'd want them to be.
They're
kinda
good for
see-through-ish.
us.
Valdoon looks out at all of this and says, "Oh, God, nothing big enough to hide a find. It's all just salad-shaped. Disgusting."
It's perfect.
Okay, just because you have the advantage of size doesn't need to mean you rub it in. Ugh.
Okay,
Can
question.
we get some... Oh, wait, you go first.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I want to watch behind us since we did see one of the Schwolves disappear off to the side. I want to make sure it's not coming around behind us.
Ah, yeah, no, it doesn't seem like it would be. It seems like it was on a patrol path.
Okay, gotcha.
And so, if anything, it's going to,
Okay.
circle back sooner or later.
Okay. Good to know.
I'm gonna grab some jungle dirt and rub it all over me to get closer to jungle colored.
Okay, please roll a survival check.
Okay.
Is this jungle bright red?
No, I would say that this jungle sticks to the kind of muted browns and greens of your typical jungle shape.
Well, I guess
That is
it's
a-
just no use for me then.
19.
19. You now have advantage on stealth checks because you're all camouflaged.
I'm
Oh.
gonna
I am the wrong color for stealth here.
I'm gonna duck into the grass. Just bend my knees a little bit.
So the grass area is probably about 60 feet away.
Oh, is it? Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
that's like in the center of the clearing.
Okay.
Other than that, it's scattered shrubs and rocks, and then just your generic forest cover. And then there's also the 2 paths being worn. And as you guys are kind of waiting and contemplating, you see off on the left another of those schwolves. This one seems to be a tiger schwolf. Is lumbering up on a patrol path.
A Schweiger.
No, it's a tiger schwolf. That's what its name is.
Its name is Tiger. It's a normal schwolf.
And it kind of lumbers in front of you, kind of huffing and weirdly gurgling. You notice that it has that same kind of liquidy property that the first hammerhead schwolf you fought also had. It kind of lumbers past you, doesn't seem to notice you guys hidden in the brush, and disappears. You notice that it was probably about 30 seconds between the one disappearing on the right and the one on the left appearing on its path.
Let's wait for one more, see if it's same timeline.
Yeah. And
We'll
then
have to be
see
quick.
if we can make it to the grass in 30 seconds.
Probably about 45 seconds later, another schwolf appears on the left. This is another tiger schwolf. And it lumbers by, and it takes it probably a good 30 to 45 seconds to pass out of sight again.
Okay.
So there's grass in the middle, and
There's
then
grass in the middle and then scattered shrubs and rocks throughout.
we want to get past the grass, like all the way to the other side. Right?
The
How
goal
deep's
is
the grass?
The grass is probably about like a foot deep. It's not like
Okay.
grass.
we're trying to get across this clearing though, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Once we get to the grass, we should be good because
That's the midway point.
I know, but
We could lay
Like-
down.
you can lie down and be hidden in it.
I don't think Valdoon is gonna lie down and be hidden in it.
Oh no, I can be very sneaky in grass. You notice that she is also similar to Merowyn, kind of getting herself all but camouflaged. She's stuck a little branches in her hair, and she's got like some little stealthy stuff on. She's just like, no, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. It's fine.
Okay, my thought is, I don't know if me and Cell are fast enough to get across the clearing, but I'm almost certain Candle and Shadow would be.
Yeah.
To make it in 30 seconds, we can do that.
It'd be really helpful if I had that little, if I raged and I had that little teleporty do that. I did
Yeah,
that.
however, if you rage, you might cause an eruption right here. A big blast of light, maybe.
I know. That could be a distraction.
No.
No, that'd be a beacon towards us.
Towards me.
That's...
And we all want to make it there, alive.
So, let's wait for the next shark, and then,
Then we'll just book it.
And make a
book
run.
it.
Yeah, so the next shark is probably actually just a little less than 30 seconds later. It's probably about 24. You know, just a random number, like one round less. It's about 24 seconds later. It passes. It takes about 45 seconds to cross in front of you and then disappears out of sight.
As soon as it's gone, we go.
Okay, are you going stealthily or speedily?
I'm trying to go, stealthily.
I'll go stealthily.
Candle?
Well, I was just gonna ask before I go, could I real quick do a tiny detect magic thing?
As you kind of sink into that trance, you do start glowing a little bit different colors. It feels a little illusion-y, a little bit conjuration-y. The strong conjuration vibes, and then a little bit of transmutation vibes, I would say.
I'm getting vibes.
There are vibes. There are magical vibes here.
Yeah.
But they just seem to be ambient as far as where you currently are, Candle. So, Merowyn and Selwyn are stealthy. Shadow, are you
Yes.
also stealthy?
Yeah, I will do a stealthy.
Candle, are you doing a stealthy?
Or a speedy.
Maybe.
Okay, Candle, athletics, everybody else, stealth.
stealth. I have expertise. Okay, cool. Aren't you part bard or something?
Yeah, but I don't have expertise yet.
Okay, so Merowyn, stealth.
25.
Okay, Shadow
23.
and Selwyn
18.
and Candle.
25.
Athletics 25. So Candle, in this kind of first rush, we're not going to have this be in rounds per se, but in this first rush, Candle, you make it to the grass, while the other three sneak, and they're about 30 feet, so they're about halfway to the grass, and you are kind of hunkered behind some of these bushes and like rocks. And Candle, as you pass this halfway point, as you step into the grass, you notice that suddenly it becomes a lot harder to move, almost as if this grass is actively kind of trying to resist you. And while your detect magic is still active, you start glowing that faint color, and it feels like that transmutation magic is a bit more present here as the grass starts to actively resist you. And then please make a strength save. As you pass that exact middle point, the grass kind of erupts around you and tries to tie you down like vines. It almost kind of reacts to your very presence.
Strength? I don't know why I did that. Okay. So strength is going to be a 21.
You successfully kind of flex your way through these, and you like kind of power your way through the grass, but it seems like it was difficult for you, and you just kind of get onto the other side of that grass patch, and you look back and you're kind of breathing heavily. It was a bit of a strain for you. Other three, what do you do?
Oh, that doesn't look good.
Did we see what happened to Candle?
Yes.
Okay. So this grass patch? Can we go around it?
No, it seems to be a pretty even band all along this clearing.
How wide of a band? Oh,
I'd say.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was gonna say the same thing.
About 15 feet wide. It's only 5 feet in the middle where Candle truly had trouble, but it seems like it resists movement throughout that whole 15 feet.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna run up to it, and I'm gonna try to misty step to the other side of it.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, you kind of teleport to the other side of it, and you stand next to Candle, and you're just like, yes!
That was easy.
Merowyn.
I'm just gonna wait for till the next. Like, I'm gonna hide in this bush section and wait
Okay.
for a shark to go through.
And Shadow.
I'm gonna probably just ready my daggers and try and get through the grass.
Okay. As you start running through the grass, again, these vines erupt around you, but please make an attack roll as you try to cut through them.
That's gonna be a 25.
That'll hit. Please roll damage for each dagger as if you're making 2 attacks.
Okay.
And give me the total.
Where's my D4? Need my D4. Okay.
What is a D4?
A D4. Total is going to be, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 12.
Ooh, 12. Yes, you just barely, by 2 points of damage,
Ooh.
manage to slice through the vines that are attempting to enwrap you, and you also get next to these two. Merowyn, it's probably about 15-ish seconds until the next shark shows up, so you're waiting. And Selwyn and Shadow and Candle, what do you guys do as you're on the other side of the grass patch?
Can we make it to the other side of this clear? What's on the far side of this clearing again?
More forest, just kind of more of that dense rainforesty stuff that you've been passing.
And is it
through.
like another 60 feet there?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna step into the grass and hide there, on the far side of the
Okay.
grass
Please
patch.
roll disadvantage stealth, as this grass is a bit less deep.
Yeah,
And then-
I'm probably just gonna like lay down as well.
Same roll to you, Candle.
Can I make the distance 60
Yeah.
feet distance?
Easy.
I run.
Okay. You don't need to make a check for that as you kind of set up and you get to the other side and you turn back. Valdoon, kind of similar to, is still on Merowyn's side, but also is kind of hunkering down in the grass and kind of almost disappears from sight. Shadow and Selwyn, what are your stealth checks?
17.
16.
Shadow. And Merowyn, stealth check, go. For your hunker hide.
Okay. That is a 18.
Sweet.
16, 17, 18. Beautiful.
And a shark lumbers into the clearing. This is a tiger shark, and as it passes by, it's on the side of you, Merowyn, so it's on the kind of close side rather than the far side where Candle is. And as it lumbers by, you notice that it's not really looking around, but it is sniffing. And as it passes by you, Merowyn, it kind of pauses for a second and kind of like sniffs the air and shakes its head side to side. But it doesn't respond to your presence. And you're good. Passes by.
Good dirt.
Shadow, Selwyn, and Valdoon rather are not noticed by this. Although Shadow and Selwyn, I need you to make a con save, as you are feeling a little bit itchy in this grass.
19.
19?
Is it great?
Ah, sweet. Both of you are not poisoned.
Oh, good.
By this
poison
grass's
ivy.
contact, although you do feel a bit itchy, and maybe you shouldn't stay in this grass for all that much longer.
As soon as the shark's out of the way, we're just gonna book it.
Okay, sweet.
I'm also just gonna, if I can, I'm just gonna cut a little bit of the grass and put it in a pouch.
Con save again, as you kind of very intentionally come into contact with this grass.
Could I wear gloves or something? Con save is a 16.
Yeah, so you're still good, but you feel like just barely.
Okay.
As you do have some poison in grass.
I run over to Valdoon and just ask her to throw me over.
Yes. Oh, excellent. Good. Dex save, please. Merowyn.
Yep. Next save, that is a 23.
Yeah, so she
Hit the ground running.
does a little halfling toss. You hit the ground running. She tries to jump over it. The vines reach towards her, but since she is so far above them, she's able to easily kind of slap them aside and powers to the other side of this clearing with you. And then it's a bit of a hike. It's kind of turns uphill in this jungle as there's all these clearings have kind of disappeared, and it seems like life is a bit more vibrant and dense and kind of intense here. You notice now that you know what to look for that there's patches of that kind of viney grass all throughout. You actually pass one that's kind of seems like it's midway through digesting a small animal.
Oh, good.
It seems like it's a naturally occurring kind of magical plant that had been specifically cultivated to exist where you found it in the clearing. And then eventually you get to the top of a ridge and you look down into a valley, similar to the valley that Idun described the holy site as being in. What you see is about 60 feet of kind of a sharp downhill covered in kind of like small shrubs and just forest floor stuff. But it's a pretty steep downhill, and then there's a flat, clear area where you can finally see the sky. That faint drizzle is trickling into it. And on the far side of this, kind of set into the base of another hill that goes up about 600 feet away, is two big stone doors that are very, very closed looking. In front of those doors, you see several humanoids kind of encamped, human-looking folks, although there might be some dwarves or elves mixed in. And they seem to be having a conversation next to a very smoldery and smoky fire pit that is half covered in like a little gazebo-style thing from the drizzle. And kind of on the outside of that little camp, you see three shark wolf things that are kind of like sleeping, kind of like just posted up. One of them's on their side. You can hear the faint snores of them all. And they are just kind of there, seeming to have a discussion. You notice that there's some scorch marks and kind of like some broken weapons on either side of the door. They seem to be discussing the best way to get in. And now we are going to take a bit of a break, about 15 minutes until we resume, and we'll pick up with how our party handles this little campsite. Sure.
So 1:15.
1:15.
All right. I'm switching us over to break.
1 second.
And we're live. No, too late. We're live. Fuck you.
Oh, fuck. Shit. Damn. How many other swear words can I fit in this? Shit. Heck. Darn.
And
Nope,
we're
those are
banned
the
from
same
Twitch. Congratulations.
Ah. Banned from Twitch. Speed run. D&D %. Okay.
Oh god, why is my phone volume on? Okay, we're good.
Yeah, why is it on? Hmm?
I don't know.
For shame!
No.
So, you guys are at the top of a hill, a very steep hill that leads into this clearing. This clearing is probably about, let's call it, even though I said a different number earlier, we're going to call it 600 feet long and probably about 200 feet wide. This clearing is also somewhat of a valley in between the rolling foothills in this jungle area. You can see that the foothills keep rising in the distance, but at the end of the clearing there are some big stone double doors with some symbols carved on them that you can't quite make out, and it looks like there's been signs of attempted forced entry by the camp of humanoids that are at the base of these big-ass doors. It looks like there's probably about 8 humanoids there, kind of gathered around a little kind of pitiful campfire, all discussing something, and just outside of them, probably about 30 feet away from them, are 3 of these schwarks, the shark wolves. 2 of them are tiger schwarks, and 1 of them is a great white schwark, and that one is a bit bigger than the rest.
Hey, Sweeney.
Yes.
Question about this hill that we're on.
Yes.
By any chance, are there just some big circular rocks at the top?
No, this isn't fucking Breath of the Wild. You absolute twat guzzler.
We can always hope. Fuck off.
Okay.
Are there... Okay, but here's a question.
Anyone have
Are
Shape
there
Earth?
any medium-sized rocks?
No, there are not loose boulders in the rainforest. That's not how any of this works.
Okay.
Also, you're probably about 400 feet away from them, as this clearing is very large and they are at the far end of it.
We can dream.
Yeah.
It looks like there are more of those kind of patches of tentacle grass scattered throughout the clearing, but now that you've practiced at kind of identifying them, you can try and avoid them as best you can on the approach. You could also try and stay in the jungle and approach their campsite from one of the sides.
I like that strategy.
Ambush sounds better.
Yeah. Then we might be able to also hear what they're saying.
Yeah, rather than
possibly
running
make a plan
across
off
an
that.
open field.
Towards some schwarks.
Yeah, for
Some schwolves.
from some Schwark wolf bilberts.
Okay, so please everybody roll an advantage stealth check as you skirt the edge of the clearing, staying just in the density of the rainforest as you approach.
Right.
Grit?
Great.
Hey,
Great.
so Sweeney, I rolled 2 nat 1s.
Candle?
Do ours cancel out?
Candle, what'd you get?
The group check, please.
Stealth.
Advantage stealth.
And what happened to your headphones?
No longer wearing them.
Okay, because your mic suddenly just got so much shittier.
Fuck you. My stealth is a 14.
Your stealth is a 14? Excellent. Better than Shadow. Okay, so, Shadow, you, as you guys are slinking around, happen to step into one of those naturally occurring patches of tentacle grass. Please make a disadvantaged strength save, as it ensnares you.
That's gonna be a 7.
Ooh, a good and spicy 7.
How's
So
that sound?
You, as you are ensnared, you are restrained. You take 8 bludgeoning damage,
Geek.
and please make a Constitution save.
So this is where we lose Shadow.
Con saves at 12.
Ah, great. So you are poisoned for the next hour, and you take an additional just 4 poison damage.
Ooh,
But-
good.
Your friends are able to kind of cut you free quite quickly as they notice this immediately, and you're able to kind of walk it off. But you're poisoned. You're like wicked poisoned. You're like super wicked poisoned.
I don't happen to have any like antidotes or anything.
I mean, you can try and fabricate one in your poisoner's kit, but it would take time.
Yeah, up to the party. If we want to take a minute, but up to y'all.
I mean, honestly, I don't think an extra minute's gonna hurt anything. At
Well, it's
least.
gonna be a bit,
I'll
but
keep an eye on the them. Make sure they don't do anything.
Okay.
Oh,
all right. So as I'm dying, I'll try and make an
Roll
antidote.
a poisoner's kit check. I believe that's just plus proficiency.
Yeah. Ooh, 21.
Okay, so over about a minute, you're able to use that actually clipping of this poison grass that you snipped earlier
Yay!
to fabricate an antidote, single dose, unfortunately, but you're able to counteract the poison, and you're actually able to make your antidote well enough that it doesn't cause any additional poison damage going down. So,
Yay!
well played. However, please roll a disadvantage stealth check, as you do need to start a very, very small fire to boil out the ingredients for things and stuff.
16.
16. As you are just finishing up with this antidote, you guys hear a snuffling from the direction of outside the clearing, that path, that kind of moat in the forest. It seems like one of the tiger schwarks has followed the scent of thing on fire, thing potentially punchable.
I was keeping an eye on all of the people in the clearing.
None of them seem to notice.
Okay, as well as the Schwarks that are next to them, though.
Those 3 schwarks did not respond. This is coming from outside.
Cool.
Yeah, so this is one of the schwarks that was on patrol. Seems to have smelled some sort of disturbance, namely, Shadow's anti-venom coconut party, antidote. That's what it's goddamn called. It's a poison. It needs an antidote. It's not a venom that needs an anti-venom. Okay, so it is approaching. I assume you guys continue the scamper.
I say we just sneak away. They go by smell.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, please regular stealth check as you run off.
Is this considered a jungle, though?
Yes, this is still considered jungle.
So,
Advantage.
Yes.
19, and I need to grab something real quick. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
You're good. 26.
2.
Dare you?
26, 22.
18.
Okay.
I'm mad it
You
rolled
all-
onto a crit and right back off.
It's the
Get
worst.
So, you all managed to successfully avoid this shark's somewhat limited range senses, as you kind of watch it as you're exiting this part of the forest, just sniff around the kind of barely scorched remains of Shadow's impromptu alchemist setup, and you continue on until you are level with with that campsite, kind of off to the right of it. You're probably about 90 to 100 feet away from the campsite. You're still up on a hill, although this hill is a bit less steep. Please, everybody who tries to overhear it, roll perception.
while we're sneaking down the hill, I'm gonna healing word Shadow.
Oh, you're sneaking down the hill?
Or while we were sneaking closer.
So basically, if you
thought-
want to stay in the forest, you still have to stay at the top of the hill. Once you get starting down the hill, it is clear. There are no more trees.
Okay. Well, while we're in the forest,
As we're approaching.
sneaking through the forest, I'm gonna heal Shadow. Healing word.
Okay. Sweet.
That's max for
Ooh.
9.
Yay!
Health, return to Shadow. Perception checks. Everybody.
A perception check is a 11, baby.
19.
8.
Candle?
18.
Okay.
Solid.
So, Shadow and Candle, you're able to overhear some scattered details, although Selwyn and Merwin, it's kind of hard to parse some of it for some reason. And you do get the gist of it. Namely, there is a leader that looks kind of almost shamanistic. He kind of sticks out. He's an elf, and he's wearing some like flowing green robes, and he has a nice kind of ornate staff that looks like grown and twisted into place rather than kind of cut. And he's kind of like standing tall and a bit more pretentiously as this group discussion is going on. And you hear one of the other guys, this is a human mercenary looking fellow, being like, "Yo, Devin, we've been here for 3 days. I don't think we're getting past this door." And then the druid, apparently named Devin, says, "Nonsense. If we can't get past this door, then, well, let's just say that I've trained for years in the glens outside of my town. those forests are deeply magical, and there's nothing I can't break past. And regardless, if we don't break past this in another 2 days, the Admiral himself will show up, and, well, he's liable to take his displeasure out on us. So, whatever, ingrown little hesitations, or if you're not giving it your all, then I'm sure the Admiral will make his displeasure with your lack of effort shown. Besides, our break is almost over, and we should resume our attempts to break in. And then one of the other kind of mercenaries, this is the dwarf, speaks out, just like, the raiders were supposed to pass through here, like, yesterday, and we haven't heard from them. Do you think something's kind of gone wrong there? Elf says, nonsense. We'll just continue with our job, and they will do theirs. Besides, even if the raiders did fail, there's no way the townsfolk could get past our legion of shark wolves. You mean the Schwolves? No, shut up. That's a terrible name. And as he says shark wolves, Shadow and Candle, you both notice that he kind of like pats a pocket on his robes that seems to hold some sort of talisman or kind of item of some sort. Almost as if like that's kind of connected to the shark wolves in some manner. Candle.
I point at that man.
Yeah.
And I say, dibs. Dibs.
If you guys want dealing with animals, I'm really good with them. Like, really good.
You might. Did we all notice the talisman or the little like?
No,
pocket?
that was just
Okay.
Shadow and Candle.
Okay.
As he
Okay.
he just patted a pocket that seemed to hold something.
I would relay this to the party.
Yeah. And
Okay.
also, Merowyn, these shark wolves are not beasts. They are monstrosities.
fair.
They are not animals.
Ah, favorite enemy then.
You can track them through the forest.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Hey guys, I have a possible really bad plan.
Go on.
Aw.
So we saw that these things go by smell a lot.
Yes.
Why don't we start a decently large fire around here, away from the people that will attract the Schwolves, while we deal with the ones on the people on the hill.
That sounds decent to me.
I'm just worried about, forest fire.
That's true. So, what was our plan again?
Maybe start a bonfire?
Just saying, I can cut my hand and then go. Because sharks smell blood, right?
Well, we need to lure them away from us.
Not to us.
I think I missed that part in the communication. I was about to deep blue sea this bitch.
So, which person pointed out the talisman?
Oh, the big elf druid looking fellow with the nice curved braided staff.
Okay.
Apparently the leader of the group.
How much? So okay, so there's like a clearing down the hill, yeah.
Yeah, so that down the hill is a very, very large clearing.
Okay.
That is probably about like 120, 200 feet wide. These folks are at the center of it, so they're about 60 feet away. But between you and them is this like kind of ring of schwarks that are sleeping, but they're also acting as a barricade. And so like right now there's one, it's one of the tiger schwarks, is just kind of posted up on its side, kind of like lazing around on the ground between you and this group of humanoids.
I do like the plan of this fire, but I'm also not sure. I am rather worried about starting a bigger blaze.
I guess the forest might be wet enough.
It is drizzling.
All right, I say we go for it.
So we make a big bonfire spot
Go roll survival, Merowyn, for gathering attemptedly dry fire starting materials.
14.
I'm gonna stay and keep a watch on all of them, see if they notice anything.
Okay. Sweet. So it takes a bit, probably about 5-10-ish minutes to gather enough materials to start like a small fire, Merowyn.
Okay. And now we get a lot of larger wet logs to put above it, so that it gets smoky as all hell.
Yeah, so you guys set about doing that. It's probably another like 10-15 minutes before you gather these logs, and now you have the bones of the fire, though no blaze has yet to start.
So we want to set this fire, and then we want to be not here.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Is this the plan we're going for?
Yep.
All right. I can't start the fire. I don't have a way to do it. Candle or cell?
So Valdoon, who is still here, is just like, have you not heard of a flint and steel, little creature?
Well, I
Everyone
don't
has
have
a way
one.
to start a fire. Oh my god, you don't have a flint and steel?
I'm
Candle,
the flint and steel.
Selwyn, who's starting fires?
I do.
Okay.
I'm staying. I'm not by the fire actually.
Okay.
I remember because I'm staying to keep a watch on folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're a little bit into the forest.
Yeah,
or
back
like
into
jungle.
that little jungly area.
Yeah.
Sweet. So, Candle, you kind of set this blaze, and please roll a charisma check.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Not charismatic though.
Yeah, I know.
16.
So as you kind of start this fire with your tieflinginess, you notice that it's actually kind of a bit easier to do so than you normally expected. There's kind of like a little push almost on a swing towards your magical energy that kicks off this fire right nicely. And after about a minute, it is a proper blaze that is starting to smoke like all hell. As you
Great.
guys get back to your position with Selwyn and looking over these group of folks. The druid sees this and is just like, that's fucking weird. Hey, Mal, you take 2 of the tiger shark wolves, my majestic creations, and investigate that stupid fucking... Go put it out. We can't have any distractions. We're so close. And so the human of the mercenaries and 2 of the tiger sharks kind of like just lumber up and start walking in that direction. You are now faced with 7 humanoids and 1 great white shark.
So, plant growth and get them to run through it? For spike growth? That's generally our...
That's usually the strategy.
Yeah.
Anything else we could do?
I am an assassin.
If you want to sneak up first, you can, but otherwise I'm going to make the ground very...
Well, no, I think I can attack from range. I have a crossbow.
Oh.
So,
Then
let's have
how about we
everybody-
do a spike growth into an assassin shot?
Should I go for the druid or should I go for the great white shark?
Druid.
Druid?
Druid. Yeah.
Druid. Alright.
Druid.
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 Alright, the second that guy's out of sight, I'll cast spike growth.
Okay. You so cast, and let's have everybody roll initiative, actually. As that spike growth counts as your surprise round action, Merowyn.
Okay. It's unseen for 10 minutes, so we could also...
Wait,
Let it
yeah,
chill.
that's fair.
Yeah.
However, if they were to haphazardly take a step,
They
then they would
notice,
realize it because
Yeah.
of the, you know.
so, pain.
2-foot long spikes or whatever.
My initiative is an 18.
18.
17.
19.
13.
Boo boo boo.
19 was Shadow.
Yes.
18 is Candle. And Selwyn
17.
is 17.
13 for me.
in the surprise round, we're gonna say that the surprise round A is when Spike Growth was cast, and Shadow, you are currently up. Spike Growth is just cast. Nobody's moved yet, but they're all kind of standing around looking at the fire, slowly beginning to get ready to kind of get back to their attempted business of breaking through the door. And they are 60 feet away from you. What do you do?
Sorry, what was that again? Sorry, I was reading the description for assassinate. My bad.
It's your turn. They're
Is
60 feet away.
Okay.
They haven't seen you.
Perfect. I'm going to shoot Druid.
Shooted the druid. You have advantage roll to hit.
Ooh, and that's a crit.
Jesus, pleases.
It's already an auto crit.
What's up?
Isn't it also just an auto crit?
Perfect.
That
No.
might be a higher level feature.
Oh, I don't remember. Okay. Any hit the assassin scores against the surprised creature is a critical hit. That is, yeah.
Sweet. So it's a crit.
It's a crit. Okay, and then that was with my crossbow, so that's a... And do I get sneak attack too, or
Yes.
Okay.
You have sneak attack on any
you have
roll.
advantage.
You have advantage.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I'm still learning the ins and outs of roguiness. Okay, and then... Whoo, baby. And then that's... Dice are doubled, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, lordy. So that's... 34 damage?
Sweet. As you fire this crossbow and it hits him kind of in the like lower chest area on the right, and there's his crossbow bolt sticking out of him, and he kind of freaks out and is just like, "Oh, my beautiful, pristine physical form! It has been wounded!" And he gets a bit more animated, and that's Shadow's turn.
Yep.
Shadow, he kind of sees you as he kind of traces the direction of this crossbow bolt. Candle, you're up.
Hey, what's near me?
Your allies, as you are 60 feet away on the top of a hill from the rest of them. Also, there is
And I would have
spike
pointed
growth.
out the spikes where they
There's
are.
spike growth in their area. What's the dimensions of spike growth?
20-foot radius.
20-foot radius. So yeah, he
And-
points out the 20-foot radius little thingy in the center all around where they're standing.
And they have noticed us, yes?
They've noticed you
have.
guys, yeah.
They
They
I rage!
You rage. Sweet.
I
Roll on the
do.
search table.
I will!
Please don't kill us all.
Aw, this would have been so much easier if I had this earlier. I teleport
Uh,
for 20 feet.
Is
to
it in
an
a random
unoccup-
direction or just...
Says I teleport up to 20 feet to an unoccupied space I can see until my rage ends. I can activate this effect again on each of my turns as a bonus action.
Sweet. So yeah, you teleport 20 feet down the hill, and then what's your movement speed?
40.
So you can get to them, but in order to do so, you will need to get into the spike growth area. So that will take some damage.
Or just stand right inside the spike growth.
I'll go. I won't get into the spike growth area just yet. I get there. I teleport to like the edge of where the spike growth is, and then I go na 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 na.
Okay, please make a performance check.
Performance is got to be a 11.
Nice. So yeah, they kind of look at you, and especially the big great white Schwark just kind of like, but you know they've noticed you. You have a big.
These are my
helmet.
real horns. These are my fake horns.
You've got a big hammer, and you're there, and one of them just got shot. So that's how it goes. Next up is Selwyn.
Sorry. I'm just gonna go nice and simple. Find a little pebble that's nearby on the ground and catapult it into the druid. Deck save.
You got like a 4.
Yeah, no. Okay. That is a 18 damage.
Nice. He kind of steps back as he's pelted by a pebble, and he's just like, "Bro, what the fuck? I expect a much more elegant attack next time." And that's Selwyn's turn. It is
Hold on. I'm gonna give Bardic to Candle.
Candle.
Fuck him up. Rah, rah, rah.
Sweet.
Okay.
So that's Selwyn's turn. Now it's Devon's turn. Devon the Druid. He is surprised. Next up is Merowyn.
Well, how's he looking?
I mean, just kind of rough. Like, just recently roughified.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot an arrow at him.
Roll to hit.
Hopefully. How's a 22 sound?
That hits.
For, 9 damage.
Nice.
And then, hey, Shadow, do that again.
Get
That was
his
good.
ass. Okay.
Bardic, I'm assuming that was.
Yes.
Yeah, Bardic.
Sweet. So that's Merowyn's turn. Bessie, the big ass great white schwark, and the mooks are all surprised, and it's back up to the top. Shadow, they see you now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna probably move towards Candle, but shoot at the druid again.
Okay, roll to hit.
That is going to be a 18 plus 6, 24.
That'll hit. You don't get sneak attack.
That is okay. I will just do the normal damage, which will be 7.
Nice. The arrow hits him again, but he's kind of able to partially block it with his leather armor. Next up is Kendall. You're at the edge of the spike pit.
Has anything got closer to me?
No, they haven't had a chance yet because of the way that surprise rounds work.
I can always ask. Sorry.
That's true.
Let's see.
You can teleport towards one of them without moving with a bonus action.
I will do that.
Who do you teleport next to?
What are my options? I have
There's
sharks.
6 mooks, 1 big great white schwark, and the druid.
Can I teleport on top of the great white shark?
Yeah, you can. Well, you can teleport above it and then try to land on it.
Yes, that's the one I'm going for.
Okay, roll an acrobatics check, please.
I'm all about aesthetic.
Weren't they made out of like Jello or something?
They're kind of
Even
liquidy.
better.
They're kind of
Ooh.
gently viscous.
Gonna go inside it. It's gonna become like a centaur mix thing with this. Just
Don't say that. Don't speak that into existence.
What did you want that roll to be?
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics. That's gonna be a 21.
Yeah, roll an advantage to hit as you're about to land on this thing. Are you gonna try to like land on it with your feet?
I want to land on it with my hammer.
Okay, but then do you also want to use your feet, or do you want to just kind of fall off like some kind of?
Nah, I want to like try to grip onto that.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Grip
yeah,
onto
roll-
what? It's Jello.
The gooey lad.
You don't know my capabilities. Okay, rolling to hit, that's gonna be a 21.
21 will hit. Please roll damage.
great
Yay.
white schwolf.
Hey. That's gonna be a 16.
Ooh, nice. It seems like this great white schwark is a bit thicker of hide and a bit chunkier of beef.
That's why I went for him first.
But yeah, you land on him and your hammer kind of bounces off almost, but your feet seem to sink in, so it's like just to the top of your feet is just covered in shark goo, and you feel
Woo!
like kind of stuck to this fellow for now.
Terrific. That's
Anything else you want to do on your turn? You used your bonus action. Do you want to try to move?
Can I just kind of like move my feet back and forth to try to disorient the Jello?
It kind of wiggles a little bit, but you're having trouble actually removing your feet from the jello, and the jello does
Oh.
not seem to be disoriented. So you're lightly stuck.
Okay.
You're gently lost in the sauce, I will say. You're
I'm definitely
astray.
lost in a specific sauce.
There's a sauce that's happening that you're lost in, perhaps. Next up is Selwyn.
I don't like that. Druid's still over there.
Yeah, he's vibing.
You double firebolt at him.
Okay, roll to hit.
First one is will an 18 hit?
Yes.
And then second one will a 19 hit.
Yes.
Math. Doo-doo-doo.
This is gonna be close.
15 damage. Between the
Okay.
both of them.
Between the both of them?
Yeah.
He has 1 health left.
He has 1 health! I love this so much. He's scorched. He has an arrow sticking out of him. He's just kind of all sorts of fucked up, but he's barely standing. He hasn't actually really moved so much as kind of flinched several times. And now it's his turn. And
Hey,
he's
you should
just gonna
move into the spikes.
look at all of the mooks and Bessie, and he's gonna point his staff. Well, he's like, Bessie, do your thing. The rest of you, do something. And then he's going to wild shape. As he takes a bonus action, his skin kind of erupts and this strange, thick, coarse fur kind of crawls out from his spine and then emerges to cover the rest of his skin. And his staff also shifts into this big kind of maul almost. This kind of big 6 foot long, thicker staff that has a bit of a heavy hardwood weight on one end. And he's still humanoid now, but he has these thick, pointy ears and kind of this vicious robe, almost shark-like teeth, lining the inside of his mouth. And think if like a wolf met a dolphin and decided to be evil together, and that's the kind of shape of this creature, except bipedal and vaguely
Have
humanoid.
a baby.
And as he's wild shaped, he has all this bonus health again, and he starts running towards you, Shadow,
Oh.
who are near the edge of the spike traps. So runs through 20 feet of spikes. What does that do?
28 damage.
Sweet.
You're right, 'cause
Nice.
that's times 8.
Yeah, I rolled a 3 and a 4, and I just rolled it multiplied times 4.
Okay, sweet. So he takes 25 damage. He like kind of reacts
8.
to it. 28 damage. He reacts to it, but it doesn't really slow him down as much as you'd want it to. And he charges towards you, Shadow, and he swings his big ass weapon at you.
What if you didn't hit?
What if? That's the biggest mood. So I got a 24, and then I got another 24. 2 19s. You love to see it.
Oh.
So, the first damage on my main man Shadow is 18 damage, bludgeoning.
Jesus!
Oh no.
1 health away, bud. So close. And then the second hit
Okay.
is max damage
Oh.
for 21 points.
Yeah, I'm
of
down.
damage.
I am down. I was damaged before we even got into the fight. I'm gone.
Shadow has been, how do they say this, laid the fuck out.
I got smushed.
And
Love it, I
that's
love it.
his full action. He stands above Shadow's prone form, lifts up his big staff maul in one hand, and roars. Kind of like this guttural scream, this yell that reverberates throughout the jungle. And you guys hear crashing in the distance as more of the wolves start to head in your direction.
Oh.
And that's his turn. Merowyn, you're up.
Bonus action, healing word.
Shadow, you're not
Yep.
dead yet.
How much
So
health
Shadow,
am I
you're
at?
back. 7.
Okay.
You can
And
spread
then-
half a hit.
I am how you say a bloodied.
I'm just gonna shoot an arrow at the big shark dolphin
At
druid
Bessie?
monster.
No, the
Oh no,
druid.
the shark dolphin. Yeah. So
The
big
Narbeast.
humanoid. Think like thick, coarse hair, like almost like the bristles of a brush, but
Horrible.
longer.
That's an
tinged-
11 sounding.
11 to hit.
Yeah.
Not a hit.
That's my turn. I'm gonna go
Nice.
grab close my blinds real fast also.
Okay. Next up is dun 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 Shadow. You don't have to make a death save. He's kind of like right up in your grill. I can't hear you.
Hello?
You are mute. Yes.
There we
with-
go.
Hello? Okay.
Yes.
That was strange. No one else is around me, right? I don't get sneak attack for this, I don't
Yeah, you do.
think. I do?
Yeah, you
Who's around?
Yeah. Oh no, never mind because
don't
Candle
think-
moved.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah,
So you don't
Candle's
get sneak attack.
yeah, stuck in the shark or whatever. Okay, well, I just got frickin' smashed. Do I have anything? What does cunning action do? Wait, hold up, really quick. Can I?
Dash or
Disengage or hide?
Yeah,
Disengage
dash-
is another one.
Disengage. So you could
Yeah.
you could safely like get some distance.
Yeah. That was cunning action. Is that a bonus action or is that what is
Yes.
that?
Yep.
Cunning
Okay,
action
sweet.
uses your bonus action.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna bonus action disengage. And then I'm gonna run.
So to stand up is half your movement.
Oh, I was prone.
Yeah, because you were
Yeah, you
knocked
got
out,
knocked
bud.
out.
Fuck. Okay, that makes sense. No, that
Yeah,
makes total
yeah, it
sense. All right. Well, I will still bonus action disengage. And I will still use half my movement, and then I'll get 15 feet away, and then I'm gonna shoot him.
Roll to hit.
To hit is going to be an 18.
That'll hit. Please roll damage.
That is going to be 8 Joe DiMaggio's.
Nice.
And that is
He
my
now
turn.
looks this new form looks a little bloodied, as that coarse kind of hairbrush hair is starting to get a little matted with these additional wounds and also the blood from the spikes that he ran through. Oh, I forgot. I forgot Bessie the shark's turn. Bessie the shark is going to try to dislodge the candle.
Her turn can be
Candle,
forgotten. We won't mind.
Please roll a dexterity saving throw.
Guys, I'm literally like a candle wick in wax right now.
That's disgusting.
Ew.
Also,
That's
the
nasty.
mooks,
No.
the mooks used their turn
Point of
to kind
view,
of
you're the wake.
realize that their boss ran through spikes, and so they are currently getting out their ranged weapons and kind of settling themselves. But they don't move, but they also don't attack. So, that's their turn. Yeah. So, Candle, dex save, what was it?
15.
15. Unfortunately, you are dislodged as this shark kind of just shakes like a dog, and you are thrown to the ground. You take. Are you raging? Yes, you are. So pre-halved for your convenience. That's 6 bludgeoning damage as you land on the ground. Merowyn, does that count as movement for purposes of spike growth?
Did she move 5 feet through spikes?
She entered the area. Is there any words for that?
No, it says
It's,
move 5 feet through.
It's moved 5 feet through.
Sweet. So yeah, you're safe for now. But you are still in melee with the shark. But its action was throwing you aside, and now it's your turn. You're on the ground.
And I teleport 20 feet above it and try to land on it.
Acrobatics check.
Crit.
Advantage to hit, please.
Yes! Oh my god, this thing's not getting rid of me. That's gonna be a 23.
Sweet. That's your damage, or is that your to hit?
That's my to hit.
Your damage, please, as you
Oh.
smack it again. You guys notice in the distance as Candle's just blinking above this thing over and over again. She's starting to glow more and more with that kind of warm sunlighty light.
16.
It's just building up momentum, falling
Yeah.
20 feet
Damage.
over and over.
Yeah, so you hit it again, and you are again lodged in its back. Selwyn, you're up.
The sun
Um,
is a source of gravity.
He is druid, which means he has good wisdom.
Hit it
Correct.
wicked hard.
Schmack.
No, what I wanted to do.
Light him on fire.
He could always fail a save, though. Like,
I mean,
you
he
can always
could.
get unlucky.
He could, and I do want to try that. Huh?
Dare you?
No. The thing is, I want to subject him to a wisdom saving throw. However, I don't feel like that's the best option.
Light him on fire.
Huh? Yeah. No, I'm just gonna firebolt and then sorcery point rearrangement because I don't have enough for another.
Okay, roll to hit.
23.
Damage.
7.
Aha! Okay. Yeah, he's looking pretty rough, but he's still kicking. And it's his turn. Shadow, he looks at you and is just like, didn't I kill you, bitches? He walks 15 feet towards you, rolls to hit.
Don't hit this time.
Crits.
Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm dead again.
I mean,
Goodbye.
you're down again. What's your max health?
32.
Okay, so you should be fine. 27 damage. You're unconscious again as he just caves in your whole sternum situation, and then in a surprising burst of speed makes it the rest of the way up the hill to you, Selwyn, who most recently attacked him, and he's gonna try and smack you.
Oh
no.
don't.
How do you feel about, what was it? Ah, yes, 16 to hit.
I'm gonna go ahead and shield that.
He pouts at you, and roars. That's it.
He's dealing more damage than I like to deal with.
Merowyn, it's your turn.
So he has this.
You're next to Selwyn, right? So he's in
Yeah.
melee with you too. So
He has this big ass maul.
yeah, staff maul.
What's it made out of?
Wood.
Oh,
He's a druid.
yeah. That's how that works. I guess I will pull out my little short sword and try and stab him in the knee.
Roll to hit. Roll to hit.
That's a crit.
Roll damage.
That's max damage for 16.
Oh shit.
Interestingly enough, he looks now at about a similar level of health as he looked before he transformed, which is to
One.
say, 1 health. It is
Which
now
means
Bessie the
2
Shark's
total.
turn. Candle, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, can I make a bonus action also?
Sure.
Healing word.
So,
Shadow again.
Shadow. Oh, yeah. Shadow.
Yay!
Sweet. Candle, dex save.
That's gonna be a 23.
You successfully stay on the shark this time as it tries to shake you off. Shadow. You're up. You stand up with half your movement. What do you do?
I'm gonna shoot the shark.
Roll to hit.
Nat 20.
Roll damage on Bessie.
On-
Bessie, the great white schwark.
You also have sneak attack for this.
Yes,
Oh, good stuff. Okay.
because Candle's on it. It is sufficiently distracted.
Okay, good.
You're sufficiently snick.
Okay, and then math is hard. That's gonna be 20 damage.
Excellent. The schwark is sufficiently be-stabbed, although it has a large reserve of health.
That's fair.
It is still kicking.
Okay.
Next up, Candle, you're on the shark. Please roll advantage to hit, and you also have a bonus action attack that you could try to make.
Bonus
Since
action.
You didn't use your bonus action to teleport this time.
Actually,
Oh no.
I
Oh
want
no.
to try to teleport now that I'm stuck in the shark.
Ooh, roll a wisdom check.
Cool. Okay. Am I wise? I am wise. That's gonna be a 20.
Okay. You teleport actually a good 30 feet above this shark. Acrobatics check, please.
Okay. That's gonna be a 19.
Okay, advantage attack roll as you land.
Woo! Crit!
Okay, add 3d6 to your damage, and
Good.
then add it all up.
Okay, I will. Oh my god, you're making me do math.
Quickly. Do math quickly. Under time pressure. Ah. So close. So close. Oh, also, Selwyn, prep your turn.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
$51.
Sorry, what?
51.
Ah! With this kind of massive burst of light, Candle appears in the air, falls quickly, lands with all of the momentum in the hammer, and the shark ripples viscously. And then it settles, as it is not yet bloodied. This shark is fucking chonky. Selwyn, it's your turn.
Am I lodged
cool.
in...
Yes, you are safely lodged.
Druidy boy is right in my face, right?
Yes, all up in your business.
Cool. I'm gonna stick out a hand to him and cast Shocking Grasp.
Roll to hit.
19 on the die, which makes it a 27.
Yes. Damage.
Deals 6 damage.
He's dead as he electrocutes. The fur kind of retracts into his body, and this elfin form is just like, I was so elegant in my 60 seconds of screen time. Thump. And he's dead.
And then I want to take the talisman or whatever from the pocket.
So, investigation check to get to the right pocket with your bonus action.
That's a crit.
Sweet. Yeah, you successfully extract the talisman. That's it. That's your turn.
Okay.
Devin is dead. Merowyn, it's your turn.
Hey, Cell, right here.
Huh?
I don't
Talisman.
have a card.
You
I take it.
You take it from him. It's a little.
what-
It's a shark talisman. It seems to be carved out of bone or tooth or something. It's kind of an ivory flavor, and it is currently glowing with this sickly kind of turquoise.
I toss it to you.
Cool. I want to just try and push my will into it of a sick'em on the other people that aren't my friends.
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Oh boy.
Oh, with disadvantage because you have the curse of the deep.
Oh, that was a pretty damn good roll. So.
Disadvantage?
17. 17 with disadvantage.
Sweet. So as you reach your will out into this, its will reaches back. And you find that this is not a talisman of control. This is just a talisman of summoning. And a puddle kind of starts to form in front of you as another shark wolf begins to form.
Can I then just say, no, go away, go away, go away, go away?
Maybe on your next turn. Shadow. Actually, Bessie's going to try and dislodge the
A wick?
handle. Little wick, please make a dexterity save.
I will. 22.
22. You stay on and you're fine. So yeah,
Yes.
Shadow, you're up. You can see this talisman in Merowyn's hand. It was glowing previously, but now it's kind of glowing more as another shark is forming in front of them.
Do we control that shark? Okay. I guess I'm gonna try and hit Bessie again.
Hey, roll to hit.
Net one!
You miss. It's beautiful.
You hit me.
No!
Okay, next up is Candle. You're doing an attack of some flavor.
Yes.
Please roll to hit with advantage.
Well,
As I assume
want-
you're doing a repeat of your previous performance.
Yes.
To hit with advantage.
Cool.
And then Selwyn, prep your turn.
Basically, I'm just trying to build up the momentum and get pop higher and higher and just
Yes.
go boom, boom.
What's your advantage to hit?
My advantage to hit's gonna be a 23.
23 hits. Please add 1d6 to your damage. And then Selwyn. Once we get that damage, it's your turn.
Okay. If we're just aiming for the shark,
21.
First
Well,
off-
there is a big ass talisman right in front of you that is glowing.
21.
Tell
for me.
the sharks to go away.
or this is another option. I grab the
doesn't control
talisman
him.
back. I grab the
Break
talisman back,
talisman.
and I cast Shocking Grasp on the talisman.
Please roll damage.
I don't need to roll to hit.
No, you're holding it, and it's a shocking grasp.
That's max. That's an 8.
Okay. As you electrocute this talisman, it falls apart, and Bessie, beneath Candle, as it was just recently bloodied, dissolves, and you hear some kind of sloshing throughout the rest of the woods. And the four cultists kind of hold up their hands, like, "Oh shit, okay, yeah, we're good, we're good." As all of the Schwarks are dismissed, and their leader has been killed.
Is the talisman like shattered at this point, or
Yes,
just rendered
it's
first?
shattered.
Okay, good.
Kind of exploded a little bit, actually.
Good. I
Am I
didn't
still
want it to just.
glowing?
I didn't want it
You
to,
are
like,
still glowing, but it goes
come
away
back.
the next round as you're no longer attacking and in combat. So that's where we're going to end it for today, as the remaining mooks surrender, and Valdoon emerges from her hiding place and is just like, "Okay, that was sick as fuck. I'll go get my mom," and runs off into the woods. We'll resume next time with gaining entrance into this ancient temple.
All right.
Good stuff.
Good session, friends.
I'm just gonna do a quick little shout out to the people who have followed us since our last
Here
D&D.
you go. I'll give the one right there. That should be what was it? Coin? Who was it?
Coin a
What's his name?
Geek.
Coin a Geek. I met him yesterday. He's a real chill dude.
Hell yeah.
So yeah. Thanks
And
for
then-
the follow.
Also, shout out to Secret Duckling and Valky Games. They followed during one of my Pikmin streams. Yeah, good times.
Cool beans.
Okay. Well, if that's all, then I'm going to end the meeting for everybody.
I
so
think
people
so.
can study or go to work or, I don't know, play video games for the rest of your day. I'm
All
not
that
gonna
That's
do
what you're
good
gonna
stuff.
do. That.
Shut up.
Combination of homework and video games. What more could you want?
Not homework.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Alright. Bye, friends.
See you, amigos.
Bye.
All right,
Love you
I'm
all.
gonna. Yep. All right. Bye, everybody.